Hey guys, just a quick reminder to check out our corporate dirtbags. We've got versatileterrain.co.uk. Check out Versatile Terrain for all of your bases, nameplates, and things like that. Versatileterrain.co.uk. Next up's grimdarkterrain.com. Check out Grimdark Terrain for terrain for Titanicus. Epic wouldn't look out of place in things like Battletech as well, the smaller scale, quarter scale, 8mm, 6mm sort of scale. And because it's STLs, you can print them at any size. Crystal-fortress.com, head over there. Check out crystal-fortress.com for the most advanced sci-fi looking, highly tooled, highly technological carry cases and protection for your miniatures. That's Crystal Fortress, crystal-fortress.com. We've got Skeleton Games and Terrain. There's a link in the show notes to Skeleton Games and Terrain YouTube page. Check out the 3D files that they're selling over there. Black Label Painting. Check out Black Label Painting on Facebook. Speak to Dave. Get a deal on or get a price on Titans, both in 28mm and quarter scale. And lastly, we've got Quartermaster. Head over to the Quartermaster app on #byQuartermaster. Quartermaster on the iOS or Apple Store, iTunes Store. It's called the App Store. Holy shit. Great app. I noticed the other day that Morlocks went in there, sent an email through, and one of the community quickly updated Morlocks, and within like a couple of hours I had the Morlocks updated on the template. So great turnaround there. Quartermaster, you can Math Hammer, Math Hammer. It's not for Math Hammer, it's for List Hammer. List Hammer, all the great games, and then you can also make your own templates as well, and people are going back making them for second ed and things like that. So really good shit. Quartermaster. Okay, that's our corporate dirtbags. On with the show. This one's all about Assassins.
Teleport.
Welcome to Warmonger number 20. Tonight we're talking about the Divisio Assassinorum, which is the assassins at the time of the heresy. Now, in the studio, not in the studio, sorry, via the majesty of the internet, I have Liam.
Hello, everyone.
Liam's just gone back from a nice retreat, and he's like super chill. So if you can imagine that's such a thing.
Yep.
People, dear listeners, imagine a very chill Liam. Whoa.
Yes, that's right. Full of energy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Imperial Assassins tonight. There's not much. There's only like 6 entries or 7 entries. There's 7 different assassin clades that have been revealed to us. So I thought like we might just do a little bit of fluff at the start. So I grabbed my giant rule book that's 1,723 grams of rules. But there's also not only rules. There's also some fluff stuff in here about each of the legions. Obviously, it doesn't concern grognards such as us usually. However, there is some Imperial Assassins talk in here, which is the first time that we've been given assassin talk in the heresy. Like, obviously, there's an entire novel called Nemesis, but this is black book shit. This is like black book shit. So we've got a thing here. The cognomen for the assassins was the Clade Assassins, and the Emperor's Knives, also the Shadow Killers, and the Scalpel. The Scalpel. Send in the Scalpel. Should we start calling them the Scalpel from now on? Or
absolutely.
Emperor's Knives? I don't know. Which one do you like better out of those?
Well, doesn't it ask
Shadow
the question
Killers.
doesn't that mean that there's somewhere a thumb covered in cuts if there's a scalpel?
Yeah, that's right. That's true. There's I'm interested in the name Divisio, right? That like implies that there's other Divisios, like the Divisio Sabotorum that does all the sabotage, and the Divisio spying on cunts everywhere. Because can you imagine, like, the Emperor had assassins throughout the galaxy? And there's more than 80 billion stars in the galaxy. So how many spies do you have to have? Imagine a network of spies that would be in the galaxy.
Spies.
Divisio is spying on shit. So, I wonder what
That's actually interesting because so we know, for example, that later on there were these special like null field ships that would have psychers in them that would spy on like different enemies of the Imperium. You know, where they stick like a psyker in like a little null field bubble and push them out into some dangerous zone. So there must be like aerospace, secret aerospace divisions and like mega war crimes weaponry divisions and secret technology and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, there has to be like full Divisio keeping people alive through combating the galaxy's pathogens division, right? All sorts of stuff. Because when you think about like every troop that they put in the ground, there's like millions of people behind the scenes, like, or at least thousands, hundreds of thousands, people behind the scenes, like making the war effort happen, right? And then all these like secret divisions spying on people, making secret charts. There's probably Divisio of stealing maps, right?
Yep.
Divisio stealing charters.
Think about the number of characters in the books that have rejuvenate treatment.
True. Yeah.
So where do all of these chemicals and elixirs come from? Where are they getting all these ingredients from to inject into people to either keep them alive or prolong their life? They must have like huge like harvester fleets just flying around the galaxy, like
exactly.
Stealing like pineal fluid from recruits or just all sorts of crazy materials.
Yeah,
all the psych out weapons,
sky whale venom and stuff.
Yeah. All the weird like ingredients for custode weaponry and armor, where it's auramite and all that kind of stuff. There must, because it's like super rare materials, they must have special like fleets and divisions of autos out there that just go out and get like tiny 1 little gram of antimatter from the collapse of a star to help to make like the shoulder pad of a custode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And then if that was but that's the thing, if that was Custode's business, then the Custodes would get, I guess this is household shit, right? So the Imperial Assassins, these are part of the Emperor's household. How many Divisios do you think that, how many other Divisios? Now we know from Black Book 6, I think it was, one of the Black Books, earlier Black Books, so there was also a thing called the Ordo Kronos, who we're not sure what that is, but some people say time cops. Some people say the Ordo Kronos is as in the Emperor is Kronos eating his children, that sort of thing. Maybe it's a Divisio for putting down Primarchs, but then that fucking, what were those fucking dudes doing, right? Just taking it easy during, didn't do shit. How many other orders? And you're as grognards, we're allowed to speculate on this shit because, we've been into the background since the, you've been into it since like Rogue Trader.
Oh yeah. So I
want you to wildly speculate about how many other.
Think of every crazy
organization
item in the game,
but only under the Emperor's household.
Yep.
Okay.
Think of every crazy item in the game in that say in the custodes. Archaeotech pistols, the spears, all the rest of it. And then imagine every trigger, every energy sword, every battery, every focusing crystal, every blade edge has to have an entire household of master artisans who are getting the materials crafted by master smiths who are getting their raw materials from master resource gatherers with like high tech ships that go out and get super rare materials and then refine them with incredible processes and all the security that you need to bring them back to Earth without getting attacked by pirates or like other people or whoever's out there.
Yeah. That's so many dudes in like artificer armor with like fucking plasma guns, right? Just like defending shit. Because think about like Necromunda. We know that the Spirers and shit, like at least from the old fluff, the 90s fluff, the Spirers had these like super high tech suits, and they got them from off world or whatever. People in the Emperor's household, they're gonna have fucking everyone's gonna be at least base artificer, power swords. My family's spent 1700 generations, in the Emperor's household or whatever. Yeah, you would want to get in the way of those dudes, right? Yeah. And they can just like press a button and the custodes fucking come in.
Yep. Just pop up out of a hatch and execute people or fly down on.
Yeah. So we're talking about like thousands and thousands of ships. And I guess like that, and that makes sense when you think about like when you read the Solar War and how many ships there are at the end. When like spoiler alert, when Horus just they teleport the rest of the fleet and it's like 20,000 ships. So yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Yeah. So there's a lot going on.
Don't forget the artisans have got to have. You can't just have any old normal baseline human. They'd have to have like super sight and super dexterity and like really, really fine like motor control over their hands, really great eyesight, really great mental acuity. So they'd have to be like engineered at the wazoo with all the implants as well, because they're handling incredible material. You don't want to like accidentally engrave the wrong word on a piece of auramite or whatever.
Yeah, and think about it, all those dudes are susceptible to chaoticians trying to like sneak in and get and usurp some small production flaw into something so that the demon in 1,000 years can stab a guy. Well, that's fucking tomfoolery. So all of that's being overseen by the custodes at every level as well, which is fucking insane. And then, so this is my question, right? So the assassins, to get back to the assassins, like how much oversight of the assassins does the Imperium have? Do you think there's a custode at the top standing next to every Grand Marshal or Grand Master of every temple? Like, how, like, or do they just trust them? The Emperor just trusts them? Like, is there any fluff? Oh, that's what we need to know. Is there any fluff on when the Emperor just, like, I don't know, convenes the fucking all the clade Grandmasters?
I remember hearing about the War of Assassins in the Imperial Palace during the Heresy, where they were, like, opening up all their vaults of crazy assassin technology, and they'd be like, black holes detonating in the palace and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, fucking Rick and Morty style portal guns.
Yeah. And there must be like a million like super specific assassin clades as well that just never had enough people to get to be notable.
Yeah, do you think that like mass poisoning that or poison I guess the venenum is that how an Australian says it? Venenum. The Venenum Temple. I believe it. Yeah, I think you'd say the Venenum. Venenum? Venenum?
If you're Kiwi, it'd be Venenum Berry.
Venenum cuz?
Venenum.
I've got some snake venom and venenum in my cough.
Oh, that's smart. Oh.
A snake beat me right in the cough, cuz. Yeah. Do you have snakes in New Zealand?
No. Oh, actually, like sea snakes and stuff like that.
I must really love it over here then. Anyway, so Imperial Assassins. What I was saying is like when it comes to like mass poisoning, that'd be some other organization. But then when it comes to like specific poisoning, I guess, okay, so I feel like maybe the assassins, maybe there is like a whole bunch of Divisios, and some of them are outside of the Emperor's household, and some of them are inside of the Emperor's household, maybe. But I don't remember actually seeing, because I know like, in the 40k fluff, at least in the old days, who knows now, there was the Lords of Terror, and one of the Lords of Terror was the Grandmaster of the Assassins. and so they weren't like under anyone's fucking purview, if you know what I mean. But like, how, like if you're the emperor, you need to know that you're fucking like you've got all these trained assassins. You need to know that none of them are going to turn on you, right? So maybe that's what.
How do you do it?
Well, you bring them into your household, don't you? And then you take them from the other Divisios and you bring them into your household. I don't know. All right. Anyway, I think we're just fucking talking fucking shit. But anyway, Imperial Assassins.
We're just asking questions.
Yeah, we're just asking questions. Very interesting. I've been a big fan of Assassins. Assassins are what got me into the game. Basically, like I'd known about 30k from the early days of high school. But then I bought a white dwarf. I've got a white dwarf that had like an Eversor assassin in it. It was in one of the first white dwarfs I picked up, and I was just like, holy shit, Eversor assassin! I want that thing, and I do have that thing. I've got it painted for 30k now, standing on a 32mm base, ready to fucking pop some fucking bolt rounds in people's heads. So yeah, I've been a big fan of the assassins. I've used them throughout all of the editions that I have played. Obviously I haven't played the new 40k and stuff, but whatever was it 7th, what was the last edition that we played? I don't think we played, I don't know, can't remember, doesn't matter anyway. But I have played assassins in a lot of editions, so always been a big fan of these guys. And especially they used to be like really fucking cool on the table back in second ed. They sort of toned them down in the third ed era, and I think how do you think they're a bit more toned down even than that era now?
Yeah, definitely. I think they seem to struggle against field armies, which makes some sense.
Yeah, I think the problem is trying to stand up to a Praetor. Like the Divisio Assassinorum are meant to be assassinating. They're not meant to be assassinating fucking Space Marine Praetors. So fluff-wise, it does make sense, I guess.
Yeah.
But I still feel like they should be able to fucking kill a Praetor. Like, you should have at least a 50-50 chance of who comes out of that fight. If you've got a Paragon Blade and you're striking simultaneously, that should be like, holy fuck. Like, one of us is gonna die. Even possibly we both die. I feel like. Do you think that's crazy?
No, that's right. Well, in the fluff, it's always about.
But then, how do you tie them against
planetary governors, demagogues, that kind of thing?
Yeah. In the fluff, it's
generals.
Exactly. Yeah. It's they're not going after like alien kings and shit, right? Like a Thanos or something. Yeah. Like a Thanos would just beat the shit out of them. They're not going after like a they're not going to go and fight like an Avatar. Funnily enough, in the first White Dwarf that I had, there was a battle report where the assassin fought the Avatar. I think the Avatar just killed it and exploded. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it was that same White Dwarf. I know it was in one of those White Dwarfs. All right, so anyway, I'm going to read this like little bit from the Black Book. From the new rule book, my 723 gram rule book. So it says, the Imperial Assassins were wielded solely by the Emperor's household and as singular weapons of dire necessity. Theirs was a shadowy organization operating from hidden temple holdfasts and organized into rival-clade disciplines, each of which acted to perfect a myriad different methods of death dealing. From the 1,000 killing traditions of ancient terror and the many thousands more encountered in the course of galactic compliance, select human operatives were transformed using specialized biological and mechanical augmentation, the law of murder, training, and equipment, combining to make them singular instruments of lethality.
Death touch.
So that's how they're fucking that's what they are. They sort out alien races to teach them fucking, because you imagine they would have like during the Crusade, anytime they captured like a elder, what are they called, an exarch or something like that. It'd be like, take it back to Terra, so the assassins can like learn its secrets. and just fucking torture it into teaching them its fucking combat techniques, or just fighting them and just learning the techniques or whatever. Just fucking using techno arcana to just steal their fucking memories and implant them into a human so they can fight like an Exarch. Imagine that shit. So that sort of stuff, like which is implied in there, which is fucking a crazy idea. So you can imagine like they might have sent operatives to like learn how to fight like the combat techniques of the Rangda. Something like that. Interesting. So usually the assassins acted alone and in secret, crossing the galaxy by hidden means to extract the Emperor's final sanction. To exact the Emperor's final sanction upon any deemed to have transgressed unforgivably against his law. They struck from silent darkness, acting as a scalpel, as a scalpel would, to carve away a potential cancer festering within the Imperium, and would then melt into the shadows once again, leaving no trace of their passing but a cooling corpse. Though the Divisio Assassinorum was hidden, its existence was an open secret, posing by threat alone a guarantee that the promises made by compliant worlds to the Emperor were kept. So it sounds like he probably set it up from the start.
Yeah. Well, it would have all the way back to Terra, the wars on Terra, where you've got to like get into some, hive or something like that, and get the king to, swear fealty. You can't just attack them in force, because then you lose everything they've got. You might need just one vizier to die to get them to surrender.
Yeah, and like them working in concert with like with like actual troops and stuff as well is fucking crazy. And they've got so many different like fucking skills and things like infiltration, blah blah blah. Okay, well let's get into jumping back over to the agents of the Divisio Assassinorum. Let's have a talk about them. So we might talk about, like, we all know about the 4 original clades, but when we come to the new clades, we might quickly talk about their background, because it hasn't really ever been dropped before. It's like new stuff. It's pretty crazy. New stuff. I don't know how people can deal.
New steps.
Okay, so number 1, the rules for using the assassins is basically you take them as any loyalist army. Any army who are calling themselves loyalist can take them as a HQ choice. And that's it. You can just take one as a HQ choice. You can't take more than one, unfortunately. I feel like they should just be an elite choice or something less rare, because when we start talking about them, you'll see that their power levels aren't really like...
Yeah. They're more of a side grade, really, aren't they? When you look at a lot of stuff on army lists, it's a little bit of fluff, a little bit of something different.
Yeah, and we've played some of these on the table as well. Like I've run the Eversar, I've run the Adamus. Oh yeah, I've run the Adamus against you. We can talk about that when we get to him. And I've run the Culexis, and I was watching a game where someone was using the chick, Calidus, with the phase sword, which has some of the craziest rules, especially for there's like a pretty funny loyalist only build out there at the moment to do with like reserves, which we'll talk about when we get to the chick. Sorry to be so sexist. That sounded very sexist. I'm sorry. I just realized. I apologize to all women listening to the show. I meant the Calidus. I meant the assassin with huge tits.
Come back, ladies.
In the art,
we've got a lot of content for you.
We've got a lot of content. Coming up.
Come back.
Yeah, well, there's not that much content for them in this episode, but when we get to Sisters of Silence, because all women only want to play women, we'll have more content for you. So come back then, ladies. No, okay, so let's move on. So that's how you do it. Now they do have a special reaction So they do. That's something that neither Solar Ox nor the Custodes nor the Sisters got, is their own special reaction, which is cool. So it's an advanced special reaction. It can be made by any shooting phase, or once per shooting phase, obviously. And basically, if they shoot at you, and I've never actually done this because I've always just, whatever I've run them into combat, that's always just worked. No one's ever shot at my assassins for some reason. So basically, so once somebody shoots at you, you can immediately move a distance in inches up to twice the majority initiative characteristic of the reacting unit, which is an assassin, which is usually 10 inches. And this move can be made in any direction, ignores the terrain and other effects that would limit or modify distance moved. So you basically just fuck off, like in a line. You just can't move through impassable shit, obviously, and I think enemy units count as impassable, maybe.
Yeah, and if it stops you from being a valid target, that's it. They just lose their shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's just like fuck
which
you.
is just great.
And I mean, that's pretty cool because it's just a free extra reaction. I mean, it's going to use one of your reaction slots for in that phase in which you're playing it, which will be the shooting phase. So you're going to lose one of your shooting. Well, you're not losing it. You're using this in your shooting phase reaction. So that's one less return fire that you might have, or one less evade that you might be able to use on the rest of your shit. But it is cool to have it because it will keep this guy alive.
Is
hopefully. I mean,
like heavy weapons teams and stuff like that are always super busy in a game, but that one time when your opponent says, you know what, I'm going to get my 10-man las cannon team to just all shoot at your assassin, and try to take it out.
Yeah.
And if you can just nullify that, they might be busy every other turn.
Hey, do you know what? It just clicked with me why this is so good. Because in all of my games, I've told the person, as soon as they've gone to shoot him, I've gone, I can just run away 10 inches and hide here. If you do that, they just don't bother shooting him.
Yeah.
So, boom! And then I just do a return fire on whatever they do shoot at. So, yeah. Ooh,
Mind freak.
Mind freak. I'm a mind pirate. So, yeah, there you go. Be a mind pirate. Just fucking make sure you tell people, I will run away 10 inches and then later ambush you from a vector for which you're not ready to protect against. And then, yeah, boom. You're just going to mind freak them about that. There you go. That's our official statement on it. All right. Let's talk about the first one. Clade Vindicator Assassin, 125 points. I think like almost all of these are 125 points. Clade Vindicator. Now, this is a classic sniper guy. The Exodus long rifle. What do you have? A spy mask. He used to have 3 different kinds of ammunition. Doesn't have that anymore. So a lot of the words have been changed and stuff. But they like has a spy mask, for example. Some of the weapons are usually the same, but some of the war gear has been changed around. Now the profile for the assassins, they are all slightly different. For example, the fucking Vindicator Assassin is ballistic skill 8.
Yeah. If you want to make it simpler, it's just yes.
There's no weapon skill 8 assassin there. There is no initiative 8 or anything. This is the craziest out of the ordinary that it gets is the BS 8 Vindicator. I mean, he wouldn't even need to be a BS 8 if he was just BS 5 with a mastercrafted rifle, but unfortunately his mastercrafted rifle is a mastercrafted. So anyway, he's got the rifle, the pistol, spy mask, all this sort of shit. What it boils down to basically is very good at shooting like one single shot, which is the Exodus rifle. It's 100 inches, so longest range of any rifle in the game. Strength 7, AP 2, heavy 1, murderous strike 5+, so 5+ to wound instant death. At AP 2, pretty good. Rending 6+, just in case you shoot at a fucking car or something. And then the sniper rule, so you can just like pick out a dude and just hit him with a single strength 7, murderous strike 5+ shot. So pretty good. it would be nice to have the 3 ammos, like the shield breaker. Remember shield breaker? Because it can be really hard to try and fucking fight a Archmagos, for example. Having that fucking shield breaker around against Archmagos would actually be like fucking scare them. But, you know. So yeah, Murderous Strike, you're really fishing for that 5+ to wound, for that Murderous Strike, essentially. Because the strength 7, although it's wounding on 2+ against a lot of stuff, all Marines and against Archmagos, even against Gal Vorbak and stuff like that, yeah, it's not going to instant death them because it's only strength 7. But yeah, you're going for that Murderous Strike at 100 inches. It's got the Exodus pistol is kind of is shorter range now. So sorry, it's range 12, strength 6, AP 4, pistol 3, breaching 6+ sniper. So yeah, don't come near me or I might breach you, bro.
But the Exodus rifle is all about. It pairs beautifully with the visor. And how that works is that when you're shooting, you ignore all special effects, war gear, penalties for shooting. So it doesn't matter if is it dark. It's you've got some kind of cloak.
Oh no! So any to hit rolls can't be modified. Nothing. You can't be like extra 6 inches away because of smoke or Alpha Legion shenanigans.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Any way that those dirty traitors try to fucking hide. Yeah, so boom. Now the base stats, so he's movement 7, weapon skill 4. So he's not great in combat. BS 8, strength 4, tough 4, 2 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 4+. Now the unit type is character, assassin, light. And I think all of them are character, assassin, light, except for the Colexus, which is character, assassin, light, Athenema. Yep, character, assassin, light. I'm just looking through because we might as well cover these rules now. It's got the assassin rule is just looking for the fucking subtype. Sorry, new unit type, assassin subtype. Okay, so. Models. These models all apply to the assassin subtype. Models with assassin subtype ignore all movement penalties when moving or charging through terrain of any kind, and automatically pass all dangerous terrain checks. So that's very cool. Only movement 7 though, remember. Models with the independent character special rule may not join a unit composed only of models with the assassin subtype. So yep, as before, it can only operate alone. Models with the subtype may not embark on any transport, which just kind of sucks. You can't deep drop pod them or anything. That'd be kind of cool. But or put them in a Thunderhawk, just like surprise. Here's my final sanction. It's a fucking just assassin in a Thunderhawk. And models with assassin subtype may never be selected as an army's warlord. So yeah, goes without saying. Now they have a piece of equipment which they all have, which is called the raiment of the assassin or some shit like that, which is just jumping along to it. Where are you? Oh, sorry.
If I remember correctly, it's a 4+ invulnerable save.
Oh, so that's what it boils down to?
Yeah, essentially.
Assassin. Yeah, you definitely get a 4+. Do you not get anything else? That's kind of like...
does light give you a bonus?
Oh, here we go. Panoply of the assassin. Models with panoply of the assassin have a 4+ armor save and a 4+ invulnerable save. That's all. So they're what they used to call it, sin skin or something like that.
Yeah.
Now you've got a 4+ dodge essentially, and also 4+ armor save, which is kind of cool. Yeah, what did you say? The subtype light.
Does that give you a bonus?
God only knows. To check different rules.
Am I thinking of? Or is that just the movement bonus?
Line, anti-grav, artillery, light. All right, light subtype. A unit that includes only models with the light subtype gains a +1 modifier to its initiative when determining how far the unit may run. This bonus stacks with other bonuses to run distance, such as Fleet X, Special Rule, and when moving as part of a reaction. Whoa! And when moving as part of a reaction.
Nice. That's that little extra.
Wait, hold on.
Bit of...
Oh, I know. I just read right through the brackets. Okay, hold on. Let me reread it. So, a unit that includes, because this is news to me. Holy shit! I don't think I ever even looked this up. A unit that includes only models with the light subtype gains a +1 modifier to its initiative when determining how far the unit may have run. Brackets. This bonus stacks with other bonuses to run distance, such as Fleet Special Rule, and the brackets end. And when moving as part of a reaction. So it's actually 12-inch, just like Runaway.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee. That's what I get for not looking it up. I could have been totally just like mind pirating people way easier. That's even more even more mind piracy. So a unit that includes only models with a light subtype may make shooting attacks after having run, but makes all such attacks as snapshots. Models or weapons that cannot attack as snapshots may not attack. Models with the light subtype may never claim a cover save in the turn that it makes a run move. Okay, weird. We don't need it. You got a 4+ in one.
Yeah.
So you can run and shoot snapshots. Interesting, just like Space Wolves. And you add +1 to reactions. So basically, you could do other reactions on an assassin, but the just run away and hide one is just so good.
Well, there you go, listeners. We've just delivered you a special secret that will gain you an extra 2 inches.
Well, people out there probably actually just went and looked up light in the other rulebook.
Nah.
When the rules first came out, unlike foolish Tim. Don't be foolish Tim. There you go. That's the real lesson, listeners. Don't be foolish Tim.
Yeah.
So very interesting. We've all learned something.
Don't do what Tim did.
Yeah. DDWTD. All right. Okay. Well, let's get back to now that fucking that's out of the way. Let's get back to these fucking assassins. Okay. Cool. So, Vindica. Okay. How do you rate this?
How do you feel?
125 points. Hot or not? Like, what are we going to do? Hot or not?
I think they're hot.
Yeah, I think they're hot because so they've got infiltrate, scout, support squad, loyalist. Support squad and loyalist aren't really anything. But this guy's just sitting back, just with his BS8, just like plinking off wounds. Hopefully, he suffers from like every single sniper guy from every game ever, which is, oh fuck, I rolled a 1. Or in this guy's case, it's I rolled a 1 to wound, and then it's just like totally wasted. Your 125 points that turn has done nothing. But
that is true. They're not as exciting because they're not hopping around and skipping from terrain, line of sight blocker to line of sight blocker. They are just sitting in a corner and taking pot shots at targets across the board.
But what we know now, though, is he could be just running around at movement 7 plus initiative 5 plus the 1 for being light. So it's at 13 inches. He could be running around 13 inches, snapshotting. Snapshotting, wasting his BS8 entirely. Because he doesn't have like mastercrafted or anything. He doesn't even get like a reroll to hit or anything like that, or a reroll. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Anyway, so yeah, I'd say it's hot just because you can sit back and that BS8 is ludicrous. If you roll, I think that BS8 is like, so BS6 is if you roll a 1, you can reroll it and hit a 6. So BS8 is a reroll and hit a 4. So
I think what's also hot about it is that you can make a really odd army. Say if you always wanted to do a militia cavalry army or something crazy like that, you can make a really odd army, but then you can have this one guy and he sits out there and he can take really good pot shots at the other side and kind of keep them moving, and it can just give you that edge. If you've got a very, say, close combat focused army, or you've got some weird gimmick, you can just take him and he'll give you a little bit of firepower across the map.
I just feel like His gun should have fucking rending, right? Oh, sorry, not rending. It should have It has rending 6+. It should have pinning. Should it not have pinning?
Yeah.
Like every other sniper rifle has pinning.
Yeah.
If you get shot with like an impossible shot by a sniper that you like don't even hear a sound, just this guy's fucking head collapses.
And it's always really fun when you
Wouldn't
go
that-
like, oh, I'm going to use my Hellfire round, or I'm going to use my Shield Breaker round, or
Oh yeah,
my,
yeah. Well, those should be back as well. They
yeah,
demand
my
the 3
my
ammos.
Leech
Yeah.
round.
Yeah, we need. Yeah. That's okay. There we go. We think it's hot. However, we have one demand, which is make it pinning and also give the 3 ammos back.
Yeah.
Oh, this is 2 demands. Hot but 2 demands. All right. So
Series of demands.
hot but 2 demands is like pretty good.
Well,
Only
also,
2 demands. When we get to there's somewhere there's going to be more demands.
Why are these Exodus weapons why do they have different stats? Shouldn't they be the same stats but different ranges?
They used to be, yeah. Like the pistol used to be strength 5 AP2 or something like that. You just boo boo boo. But it was only like 1 shot, and they've made it 3 shots. But AP4, as we all know, is total garbage unless you're fighting militia and then when you're fighting militia, like, is this guy going to be fighting his? Why would he be firing his pistol?
Yeah. Yeah, it's too late.
Like you're only gonna use. Why would you ever use a pistol? Oh no, yeah. The only reason they even he had the pistol is because. No, why did he even have the pistol in the first place? Because you got those 3 different ammos. Why would? I've used one a bunch of times. I've never used the pistol. Even at close range, you're like, I'm just gonna shoot that dude in the head.
Maybe Jetpack Militia will drop down on him and he'll go, aha! I've got just the thing for this. I've got my 3 shots with my pistol.
Okay, there's 3 militia guys coming at him.
Yep.
And he's only on. So he's got 2 wounds. He's down to 1 wound. It's possible one of them stabs him to death, but no. He just stand and shoot. Fire 3, shoot all 3 dead.
Yep. Bang.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. Okay. Anyway, next one up is the cleared Kulexus Assassin. So this guy's the Psychic Assassin. Pretty cool. And by that I mean the Psycho Assassin. He's actually anti-psychic. He's the anti-psychic psychic assassin. Psychic assassin. Yeah.
The successful Kulexus inductee must possess another trait. They must carry the pariah gene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So these guys share some rules with like the Sisters of Silence, obviously being like pariahs, and I think like Good Kulexus was the first pariah in the game and fluff, right? Even before, because the classic 4, even before I was thinking like Eisenhorn, with Beckwin.
Oh, Sensei.
Sensei. With some of the Sensei, was that what they were?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so Clade Kulexus, his stats are kind of underwhelming. Movement 7, weapon skill 4, BS 4, strength 4, toughness 4, wounds 2, initiative 5, attacks 3, blah blah blah. So only weapon skill 4 is extremely underwhelming for an assassin. I don't think you can call yourself an assassin if you're weapon skill 4. I feel, and unfortunately, I don't. Well, we'll see. I'm not. I've used this guy. I want to like him, but I feel like I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if like his other shit like makes up for that weapon skill 4. So this guy's 125 as well. Now, things that he has that are really good. His special rules: infiltrate, scout, fear 2. Very, very good. Adamantium Wheel 3+. Very, very good. Adamantium Wheel 3+ means you just like, oh, your psychic thing is doing something to me. I think not. And just roll a 3+ and it doesn't. He also has Life Drain, which is his close combat attacks, which are Strength as User, which would be 4. AP2 Melee Fleshbane, so wounding on 2s. Reaping Blow 1, so +1 attack for every 2 guys. Oh, no, sorry, if he's in base contact with 2 or more guys. So he'd get 4 attack space. He's only weapon skill 4. That weapon's fucking cool. 2+ AP2. It's not enough to like you want to pick your targets. Don't try and fight Terminators, for example. They will just kill you. Don't be me and just get charged by Terminators, and somehow they just get outmaneuvered.
And there are a few things that will get bonuses against fleshbane weapons as well.
Yeah, that's true. Automata, for example, you have to reroll successful wounds with fleshbane.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting weapon. He also has support squad and loyalists, which goes without saying. Oh, by the way, we didn't mention this at the start. Traders, fuck you. You cannot have assassins. You get. I'm guessing you probably get some like demon assassin, fucking cool boys coming up. Yeah, that'll just be like way more insane, right? Now the war gear is Animus Speculum. He's also got the Ethereum, not the fucking crypto, I'm assuming. Psychic grenades, panoply of the assassin. So the speculum. So we all remember what the speculum used to be. No pun reiterating that. But now it's a template: strength 4, AP 4, assault 1, rating 6+, force, psyshock. So essentially, he can make it a strength 8, rending 6+ flamer template. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of good. Like, you might catch some guys and fucking kill them if you're lucky, and just instant kill them. But then if they're anything that has invulnerable save, then you're killing less. And it's just AP4 base. So, obviously, this is the edition where they've taken a lot of the unit slaying fucking mega things out of the game. There are a few. I think,
so with force, that would make it killing blow against like demons and stuff, wouldn't it?
Strength, force. I think force just makes it double strength and also counts as force. So some shit counteracts force, or something gives you better saves. Yeah. I'll look it up in my giant rulebook.
And while Tim's looking it up, the Ethereum is really interesting. It's so the additional protection that they have, that the Qlexes have, is that they, whenever you try to take shots at them, all shots against them count as snapshots. And if you can't make snapshots, you can't shoot at them, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll keep you alive. That's a total mind pirate as well. People will just be like, snapshots only, and you could just run away. Whoa. But some plucky people will just go, well, fuck you, I want you to run away and hide, and then try and do it. But yeah, just the snapshots is also, just a total mind pirate, because people just don't want to risk it. It's like when you tell people, I've got a 2+ rerollable on my cataphracti because they're heavy against blast, and then they go, and then you're like, it's a 97% chance of passing, and then they go, well, I just won't shoot at them. I'll just do something. I'll shoot at something else. It's just a mind pirate. Okay, so force is any psycho with a weapon or ability with this special rule may choose to make a psychic check before making any attack. So remember, this can go wrong. You can take D3 wounds, so they only get invulnerable saves against. If the check is successful, then the strength value of any attacks made is doubled. If the check has failed, the perils of the warp is resolved, targeting the unit containing the model which failed the check. If the psychic survives, then they may attack as normal. Yeah, so no extra rules against devils. But I think in the devil rules, don't they have like some shit against force? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I think it gives you more bonuses, but
so many new rules to cover. It's like so much going on.
So they could be.
Think about how many games we played.
Good to zap demons.
Yeah, think about how many games we played since Christmas, and just over Christmas and shit. How many events and stuff we've played, and we're still like, holy shit! There's just entirely new amounts of shit coming out all the time. They just dropped a fucking militia list. Like, when are we going to get to that? 41 pages of militia.
I like the Qlexes. I like the AP2 close combat attack. Pretty good. I like the snapshots.
Fear 2, pretty good.
If you've got any kind of fear build for your army, having this guy around as well to just add one more source of fear has got to be good. And there are going to be more and more people using the demons and psychers and cultists and crazy, demon assassins or whatever the hell's coming out next. All sorts of crazy stuff like that. So I like them, and they've got lots of character.
Yeah, I don't think he's as effective as what his name says, which is assassin. I don't think he's like good at actually fucking assassinating shit. I think like if you set him up against a praetor, for example, like an actual general, or an archmagos, or that's basically all. Any of the other guys you probably might actually be able to kill. But like a lord level character, what we call a lord level character, because we're grognards. I just don't see him fucking killing them. Maybe he can fight a praetor or something like like some of the, like an armistos that doesn't. Maybe the person's forgotten to give him a power sword or some shit, or any kind of close combat weapon that gives him any kind of bonus, like shred or anything. I guess they come with a chainsword, right? But
adamantium will work on stuff that's on targets near you, or is it only against you?
No, it's just you, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
It'll even affect the unit, but not you. I believe. I don't know. I'll look it up. Back to the rulebook. Adamantium will.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so it's a save. Again, models with adamantium will. Invulnerable save against a wound inflicted by a weapon of force, or psychic focus, special rules, and wounds inflicted by perils of the warp. And it's a shame that he's not actually a psycho. The value of his save is indicated in brackets after the rule. For example, a model with the adamantium will 5+ gains a 5+ invulnerable save against any wounds inflicted by a weapon with the force or psychic focus special rules. So you get that extra invuln against force, that's kind of cool. Like you're getting 3+ invuln against instead of your 4+ invulnerable that you have against everything else. So it makes you slightly better. I feel like it should be probably a 2+, but that's just a demand. Ooh, that's one demand already.
Sort it out. Make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Adamantium rule is presented without a value in brackets. Then consider the rule to be 5+. I feel like all the assassins should have adamantium will for free, right? Like, why not hand them out some cool shit? Like, they should be conditioned against like psychic shit, all of them, right?
With all the crazy stuff they do in training.
Yeah, they might have to go and kill a Farseer. He's only got 3+ fucking, like, they're just gonna lightning bolt him to death, even with his 3+. Okay, so let's go through. I think it's hot. To finish the thought that I started earlier, which was I don't think he's good at assassinating. What I do think he's actually good at is 125 points, and you can infiltrate and then scout, and then you've got that fear 2. I think that fear 2 is really good. Like, I think lots of armies could make use of that fear 2.
Yeah. And you have to assault him to get rid of him, because that snap shooting thing is a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
the
playing,
snapshot,
if you're doing murder in the dark builds, then it's going to be hilarious to have him like scooting around doing fear as well.
Yeah, you lurk him around. The people have to snapshot, so that maybe they just don't. You can always just mind parrot them with your with your reaction, or actually just play your reaction and then boom, fucking wasted their turn, or wasted their reaction, or wasted their shooting. You can sneak up. If there is a big group of people, you can use that animus thing. I don't rate it really because it's just base AP4. It's rending 6+. Give it rending, or give it instant death or something. I guess that's what
actual soul sucking.
Yeah, I mean, so what it used to be is every psyker within 12 inches would add to the assault value, and I think it was strength 5, AP2, assault 3. +1 for every psycho within 12 inches. So you just it would just suck in their psychic energy and just suck their souls out of them and then turn it into a fucking weapon that just like cut through fucking anything. Which is fucking so crazy. That was when it was fucking really good. And it was so I ran it back in the old edition. It was so hard to ever get off because no one ever really ran Psychers. Back in Heresy Last Edition, we were using some of these Psychers, just using the 40k rules. It was so hard to ever get that fucking like thing off. But I would still rather have that than this thing, essentially, basically. I guess it does have instant death against Marines because it would be strength 8 if you get the Force thing off.
Yeah.
Now, there's some. Obviously, he's not a psyker, so I don't know how he actually uses. I don't know how he actually uses. Yeah, how's he able to take a psychic check if he's not a psyker? That's the question. How's he able to operate Force? To take a psychic check. That's a good question because he's not actually a psyker, but whatever. Obviously, rules is intended. He can just roll his leadership 10. And he does have the anathema subtype. Let's just quickly cover the anathema subtype. But tell us what do you think, hot or not?
I think it's hot.
So it's 2 hots. 2 hots, 1 demand. What are your demands there? Animus Blast has to be updated. That has to go back.
Yeah.
That has to be
I think he should be
a potent.
I'd like a soul sucking mechanic where he could like suck souls and then get bonuses, or like say sort of like maybe the word bearer sacrifice thing where if he gets so many souls he gets a power up or something, or or maybe like just the healing, and
especially
if
he hits a psyker, it's worth like extra points.
Yeah, a soul sucking phase, perhaps.
A whole new phase of the game. Maybe a soul sucking reaction as well. Like you try to shoot him, but instead he sucks your soul.
Yeah, you could have soul suck and then soul blow or whatever it is. Like like a
soul suck.
You kind of exhale all the souls you've eaten, and then like
I
don't know.
Exhale the souls you've eaten.
Yep.
What was that rule again? It was anathema, wasn't it?
Anathema. Yeah.
Anathema. Oh my god, it's not here. Oh no, it is. Thank God. All right. So, oh my god, it's fucking massive. So that's like half a page, literally half a page of rules. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But from what I remember, last time I read through it, yeah. Oh no.
If you're a psyche, you're gonna have a bad time. And then like later on, as more rules sets come out for I don't know demons or avatars of Cain or whatever, I'm sure there'll be new addendums for anathema and force weapons and magic swords and whatever else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So basically, any psychic attacks against them just fucking automatically fail. So any wounds allocated to them by force weapon don't get any bonus from the force rule, but are otherwise resolved as normal. So you would then not get the 3+ invulnerable save against it, I guess. From Adamantium Will? Yeah, okay. Well, forget we talked about Adamantium Will for so long, because this basically just negates it anyway. It just counts as a normal non-force attack. And then also, if you're all models that don't have the anathema subtype but are part of the unit which has anathema subtype have a penalty of -2 to their leadership. Any unit with at least one model within 6 inches of an anathema subtype has a -1 to their leadership, or -2 if that unit includes one or more models with corrupted subtype. So get within 6 inches of Galvorback and reduce their leadership by 2. Whoa.
There you go, word bearers. Everyone.
Yeah, fuck you, word
Everyone
bearers.
hates those stinkers.
Yeah.
Bring one of these guys along and make them pay for it.
Gonna reduce your leadership, son. Yeah, so you know how they can make like their big 20-man corrupted squad? You just go like, -2 leadership, now you're shit.
Plus your fear.
They do stack with other special rules. So imagine that, like if you are within 6, then it stacks with his fear too. So you'd be -4. And or however fear, I think like Galvorback are fear 1, right? So there'd only be -1 fear. Oh wait, hold on. No, they're fear 1, and then they're up against fear 2. Yeah, they
If
would
they
be
don't
then
have some
neg
kind of
1. Yeah,
protection
so there'd
against
be neg
fear.
2. There'd be neg 1 and then an additional neg 1 from the Athenema. Wow. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of rules there. I just tried to speed read it while Liam was vamping for a bit there. Which, but yeah, obviously if you're running these assassins, all of this stuff's all in one. Oh, sorry, I say that, but it's not actually. If you want to look up the light rule, you need to look in the rule book. Don't bother looking up Adamantium Will 3+, apparently.
Yep.
No, you will need it against actual psychic attacks. Against force weapons, don't worry about that. They just have to attack with their base
say in
strength.
the forums, it's just future-proofing, guys.
Yeah, it's just future-proofing. Yeah. No, it makes sense. It does make sense. They will get this. Wait, hold on. A model with the Athenema subtype, there's allocated wounds caused by psychic weapon, which is any weapon granted to a unit or model by a psychic discipline, will always fail to wound without any dice being rolled, and any special rules attached to that special weapon will not trigger. All wounds allocated to a model with the Athenema subtype caused by a force weapon gain no benefit. Okay, there you go. Okay, so yeah, it is useless. It is fucking useless, several. Okay.
Does that affect stuff like divination and things like that? Or is
if you try to do psychic dart, it would just not. It would automatically fail to wound.
Right. Interesting.
All right. Next. So, do you have any other demands? Otherwise, it's just 2 huts and 1 demand. Just fix the speculum. No, we'll make this
just
strengthen
make it a bit
that
more,
speculum.
Just give it a bit more sizzle, please.
Yeah, and when we say a demand is just like lol wish listing, obviously.
Yeah.
And people can take this however you will. I would take it if I was using it. I'd take a demand when we say something as demand as that's a not its strength. Something to look out for and just watch. All right. So next up is Clade Calidus Assassin, so 125 points as well. Same stats. So weapon skill 5, only BS4, but this one is initiative 6.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Hard. So the cool thing about the Calidus Assassin is that they've got polymorphine, and they're all about it. So polymorphine is a special drug that you can use to loosen up your bones and your flesh. So you're like the master of disguise. And in some novels, they could turn into crazy things like they seem to be like pure strain gene stealers and cool stuff like that. So
don't you remember the story?
Crazy with it.
Do you remember the story with a woman where she turns into a snake and swallows a bunch of governor's children or something?
The governor's children.
And then just sneaks out with them, or whatever the hell the story, whatever the fuck that story was about. Yeah.
Yeah, which means that she'd probably have like some kind of internal gut, like nipples that the children have to suck on to get oxygen and food and stuff, right? Otherwise, they just suffocate.
Internal gut nipples for sure.
Internal oxy nipples.
Yeah, it kind of it implies that she could turn, or a Calidus of any gender could turn into any kind of thing that has bones, right? Anything that's a mammal. Oh, not even a mammal. Anything that has bones and skin and shit, like a snake. If she can turn into a snake, no reason to believe she could not turn into a wild ape.
Yep. Like some kind of white ape or something like that. Or one of those any of those crazy kind of gene-engineered kind of decorative animals that governors are always buying in bulk.
Oh, true. That's a good way to infiltrate.
Cherubs and
pretend to be a fucking
singing birds and stuff.
Yeah, pretend to be like an anti-gravity liger or something, and then some Escher traders. Escher, this is Escher territory. Come and like sell you some Xenos, lion or a Xenos, armadillo or whatever. Turns out polymorphine. As soon as you're alone with her, or him, boom, phase sword through the head. I don't know how the phase weapons and all that shit just go. I don't know how that works, but I don't know how all their equipment just does that as well. But maybe they just absorb into the skin or something.
Yeah. Or maybe she's got a phase sheath to go with a phase sword. And it's just like a little line on her like wrist that and she touches it and like this big phase scimitar or phase khopesh comes out of it.
I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that the... Oh, sorry, yeah. No, you go.
Well, here's the real... Because we're asking the real questions here tonight.
Oh, yeah. Whatever you're about to say is way more pertinent than what I'm about to say.
So if the neural shredder was originally a slan weapon that the Eldar then ended up using in bulk, and the phase sword, a lot of them came from the Necrons, Necron tombs and stuff. Does that count as cultural appropriation? Is that like someone wearing an American Indian war bonnet to a concert? Is it like that? Is it insensitive?
I don't know if it's only insensitive if it's like purposely insensitive, isn't it? You could be. Right. I guess you could be accidentally insensitive. But I don't think fucking
culture of the weaponry.
I don't think either of those races. I don't think like humans could do anything. I think there's worse shit that humans have done to those races.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be like specifically like, no, that's it. We're gonna withdraw the rules of combat because of this chick over here with Eldar and Catan weaponry at the same time. What the fuck?
That is when you think about it, that is a sort of very insensitive mix, isn't it? Because that's the war in heavens kind of stuff, and they're like, oh, we'll just use both of them.
Did it used to be called a Catan phase sword or something?
Yeah, I mean that's why it cuts through things.
Yeah, Catan phase weapon. Yeah, it is. Catan phase weapon, also known as a fractal edge weapon, is a sword black melee weapon based around a metal. Fuck, there's so many ads. What is this? Warhammer40k.fandom.com. Fucking get out, cunts, with your ads, you motherfuckers. Okay, so
come on, you got our money. Don't go in for a second dip.
Oh yeah, okay. Listen to this. It's a sword. Sorry. Fuck, it's not actually a sword. It's a Catan phase weapon. Is a sword-like melee weapon based around a metal blade of unknown composition that, through the use of highly advanced Necron physics, is capable of phasing through any object irrespective of its physical properties.
Yeah.
Irrespective. Wow. Energy shields, armor, and even demonic bodies are of no defense against a phase weapon. However, as a Catan's raw substance is made of the same necrodermis alloy and has the same properties, attacking a Catan with a Catan phase weapon disarms the attacker as the metal becomes a part of the Catan's body. Oh, why aren't there rules for this?
Well, isn't Ferrus Manus's hands also made out of necrodermis?
Well, no, these guys have assassins of the loyalist rule, and so does Ferrus Manus, so they will never fight. They're good friends.
But if you accidentally said, can you just hold on to my sword for a second? I need to shoot someone with my neural shredder.
Oh, do you think he would absorb their face sword?
He'd grab it, and then he'd just get like one bigger arm than the other one.
Do you think that just the larger body of necrodermis just absorbs a smaller body automatically?
Yeah, like Quicksilver.
Sure. Alright, well, let's just hope that never happens. So here we go. In one instance, a Calidus assassin attacked an Imperial planetary governor, only to have her Catan phase weapon absorbed into the governor, and become part of his body. This planetary governor was most likely the Catan shard called the Deceiver in another of its myriad disguises. Wow, imagine if that happened. You've just like fucking grown up, like spent however many fucking years, 20 years or something, in the fucking Calidus Assassin Temple, just ruthless fucking beatings and shit, just fighting, endless fucking combat, and they're just like, yes, we're gonna put this meat in front of you, and then they send you out, and then you go down, and you're just like, fuck you, finally, and then just like go to stab into your first kill, and it's just like, just gets sucked into their body, and you're like, what the hell? Crazy. Yeah. I wonder if she actually ended up killing him. Doesn't say. What do you think happened in that story? It doesn't actually. I guess she ran away and told people.
Yeah. I think it's traditional for them to give some kind of mind-shattering truth. The assassin who then runs away.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Ha ha ha. Your thank you for giving me back part of my necrodermis. I'm 35 mil taller now. Well, not 35, but like 3 mil taller now. The most notable users of Catan weapons are the Divisio Assassinorum assassins of the Calidus as temple in the employ of the Imperial Inquisition. Oh, so the Inquisition owns the assassins in the future.
I think they're bros.
That doesn't seem right, because the fucking King of the Assassins is like he's one of the 12 Lords of Terror. Well, maybe the Lords of Terror don't exist in 40k now. I don't know. Actually, no. There's a model. There's a model for it.
One of the Lords of Terror. Walker armor.
One of the Lords of Terror goes into combat. That seems like a terrible risk.
And isn't it time? Isn't it time for one of Terra's galaxy ruling governors to get out there in a little bit of dreadnought armor and fight on the front line? Isn't it time?
Now the Primarchs are back.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a bit of the glory. Yeah. All right. Okay. So this is more information about the Death Watch. Oh, here we go. Whoa. Oh, there's more information. Catan phase sword. It is believed that the first phase sword was found on one of the long dead worlds of the Catan. What's a long dead world of a Catan? Aren't they like star?
Dead world or necromunda?
Are they like star vampires? Excavations by the Adeptus Mechanicus uncovered numerous artifacts of extremely advanced technology, but of their makers there was no evidence. Each individual phase sword utilized by a Calidus assassin is optimized to reflect its user's favorite combat stance and personal strengths. But they all take the form of an elongated punch dagger. Okay. So, individual stance and personal strengths, but they're all punch daggers. Okay. These deadly blades are thought to utilize the lost Xenos technology of the Catan. Through the Calidus Temple keeps its true nature a close secret. I feel like what is this article? It's just the same shit over and over. Okay. Well,
future proofing.
I guess this is just all of the each edition has slightly changed the fluff for the blade.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We know what's going on.
Oh, hey, do you want to hear about Cypher's phase knife? You know Cypher. Cypher has that. He has a phase knife as well. Oh. Oh, listen to this. Okay, so. Anyone who remembers the Cypher from the Chaos 2nd Edition Chaos Codex? So the fallen angel known as Cypher is also known to have once carried a Catan phase knife, which is lost in battle with a Catan shard named the Deceiver during the 13th Black Crusade. Due to the fact that it was lost within the warp, this seems to have caused a mysterious temporal loop which causes the knife to reappear at random times on Cypher's person. Oh, convenient. That is convenient.
That's handy.
Yeah, because he had a phase knife as well. That's right. That's fucking hot. Good times. Down the Catan phase weapon fucking rabbit hole. Okay, so now the good things about this lady. Let's continue. Now the polymorphine. So as Liam said, have you mentioned what the polymorphine does?
Yeah. It lets you soften your skin and bones and reshape them. So you can look like different people, so you can become a planetary governor or a general or a servant or something like that, and then, bang, stab him with your punch dagger.
But did you read what the rule was there?
Okay, so...
we haven't done the rule.
Polymorphine rule? Okay, so...
That was such a long digression that I forget if we actually read the rule or not.
Any unit with polymorphine may not be targeted for a shooting attack, charge, or reaction of any kind by an enemy unit as long as the unit with polymorphine has not made a shooting attack at any point in the battle. Once a unit or model with polymorphine has made a shooting attack, including during a reaction, then polymorphine has no further effect. Now that's shooting attack. Not close combat, that's shooting.
So you can charge people and fight them in close combat?
Yeah, it says as long as you have not made a shooting attack or shooting reaction. So you can like walk around and stab people up, and the only thing they can do is defend themselves, but they can't. They can't go. Oh,
Yeah,
look!
they can't shoot or charge you.
That's that weird-looking waiter over there. Yeah, you can charge them, but they can't charge you.
They can't be targeted by any reaction as well.
Yeah,
that's so brutal.
So you can just walk around and Pac-Man people to death.
Okay, so let's say you charge like a squad of 10 guys with plasma guns.
Mm-hmm.
They can't overwatch you?
You may not be targeted for a reaction.
Yeah, so you can charge a unit of 10 plasmas. Your weapon skill 5, so you're hitting on 3s with your 5 attacks.
Yep.
So you basically just don't want to use the Neural Shredder ever, right? What is it? Neural Shredder, what does it actually do? It's a template, it's Strength 1, Pistol 1, Rating 5+, Synaptic Disruptor, which is on a 6+ to wound. The model automatically suffers a wound on a to wound roll of a 6+. The target model automatically suffers a wound with no armor saves, invulnerable saves, or damage mitigation rolls allowed. This rule has no effect on models that do not have a toughness characteristic. Yeah. So
on a wound roll of 6, it'll melt your brain.
It's also rending 5+, so on 5 you take a wound anyway.
On strength 1.
6 no saves. Yeah, it's. Well, fuck it. Like, it's a mind pirate. It's just a mind pirate. They're just trying to mind pirate you into using the gun. Yeah,
because the phase sword is strength 3, AP 1, rending 5+, and phase shift. And phase shift is on a wound roll of 6+. The target model automatically suffers a wound with no armor saves, invulnerable saves, or damage mitigation saves allowed. Doesn't work on things that don't have a toughness characteristic. So you just walk around and chop people up, and as long as you do that, they can't shoot you, charge you, or react you.
Yeah. Now, it is only set strength 3, so you're wounding on 5+s anyway. But then you've got that rending 5+. So 5+, I guess, like you're gonna need to trust in those 5+s. Yeah, against like something like a militia guy, for example, be winning on 4s at AP1, which is kind of cool. But you're looking for those 5s and 6s because the 5 is the rend, so AP2. Oh, I guess it's AP1, so that's incorrect. 5 is the roll you're looking for, just to wound a marine.
And you got 4 attacks.
6 is no saves. Yeah.
Initiative 6.
You're looking to get a challenge, right? Get a challenge, kill a sergeant.
The Neural Shred is a pistol as well, right? So you get that pistol. Yeah, you got a sword and a pistol.
Yeah, I think, like, so having used one of these, you can't go after big squads. It's just not, like, when you think about it, you're like, I'm just gonna, like, even though you'll get in there, they'll still just punch the shit out of you. So you're really just like running around, just like hunting those like little squads, and because you can't be shot at anyway, you can get like penetrate by just doing some run moves. Or you've got infiltrate and scout, right? Like you got infiltrate and scout. So you just fucking move around. You can hunt for their fucking like their their rapier with like 2 crew, because you only have to kill those 2 crew, and then boom, 2 rapiers out, or however many rapiers. Fight the crew on them. Look for other just like single characters, maimed squads that are already fucked up by other units. Just don't shoot. Just cut throats. I think.
And there's one more ability they've got too, which is Reign of Confusion. So because they've spent so long, kind of hiding in enemy forces, if the enemy get a successful CC initiative roll, they have to re-roll it, which is pretty brutal because most people are only going to get that on a 6, and it doesn't really kick off much.
Yeah, and fuck off, suck shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the thing that we were kind of hinting at before is that when you have, when you're doing like your deep strike armies, you've got to have something on the board. So what's great about this sort of, an assassin like a colorless assassin, is that you can have someone on the board who's holding ground for your deep striking army to arrive, but that you can't shoot at them. You can't shoot at them. You can't charge them. You can't react them. So that can be a bit of fun. So yeah, it's a great little. What is it, 125 point marker? I think this is another hot assassin. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's hot. I just think the sword is just only being strength 3.
Yeah, and it's set strength, which it's not going to scale or anything. It's always 3.
Yeah, you're fishing for those fucking 5s. You're fishing for those 5s and 6s. You really want the 6 because that's no saves, but you just can't guarantee that. And an Archmagos, so you've only got 2 wounds. Sorry.
Yeah.
2 wounds and they're 4+ invuln. Your Archmagos, your Praetor is just going to end you with a Power Fist or a Paragon Blade or a Chain Fist.
Yeah.
Or Thunder.
Because you've only got that 50-50 save, and that's pretty hard.
Imagine just a Praetor just teeing off an assassin. They're fucked.
Yeah.
At least this one goes initiative 6.
Yeah.
The next boy we're going to talk about, Scully Boy, only initiative 5. And he's going to be a close combat assassin. Who's he assassinating? He's only assassinating humans. So we got to just bear in mind, and I get fucking off topic about this all the time because I'm just fuck assassins. I wish they were better because we're only playing usually against Marines.
Yeah.
I get really upset about it, but then I've got to always remember the fluff is they weren't made to fucking fight Marines. They were made to fight just rebel kings and shit, human dudes.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not like they're ever going to have to fight Marines. I mean, they're on our side, right? It's never going to happen.
Yeah. Crazy
talk.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's an indictment of the Emperor's ability to foresee the future, that he didn't create some sort of Praetor assassin.
Because he was even sus about the Mechanicus, right? Because he had stuff the Leviathan dreadnoughts, which are only made on Terra, as this secret fuck the Mechanicum, just in case.
Yeah, what assassins was he going to use on the Archmagos?
Yeah,
none of these guys are. None. Yeah, I don't think that's hyperbole to say I can't see any of these.
Maybe the slip and fall assassin, which is coming up soon.
Maybe the poison, but then you'd think Mechanicum, they're just they're just having some sort of monogam. What? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I've had a couple of rums tonight before I started recording. Some kind of just slime, right? Some kind of protein slime. So there'd be higher security on that shit. You would think it would be hard for it.
There'd be more poison if you just open the window in your office on Mars. There'd be more poison in the air than there would be in any kind of poison assassins.
Yeah. So I guess. So yeah. So that's a good point. So yeah, we've got to keep bearing in mind, especially with these with some of these, that they were designed for a different target.
Yeah.
Although they're fun to use, I think they are fun to use, and they can fight Marines. They're easily in the match for just basic Marines, veteran sergeants,
weapons team.
Yeah, weapons team crews, that sort of shit. But you can't just run at a unit of 10 Terminators with a Praetor and go, hey, I'll fight the Praetor, and then kill. You're not killing him.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You might kill him if you rolled a lot of really good rolls. If there's Calidus, right? If you rolled in your weapon skill 5, so you're only hitting on 5s to begin with against Praetor. If you roll an 5, what do you need? You need 4 hits and then 4 6s to wound, and then they would take 4 wounds with no saves. And that would kill a Praetor in Terminator armor.
Yeah.
But think about what I just said. That's insane. That's very unlikely to happen.
Talk.
So, yeah.
Crazy talk. Maybe soften them up a little for,
If you have one of these chicks and someone seizes on you and then you just tell them to fuck off, oh shit. That's That's fun.
Yeah, which is really really good when you're playing like multiplayer. When you're playing team games, where you get some buddies. So like we've had games recently where it's like 3 versus 3 or whatever, and if that one team gets that 6 on the season, and you're like, yeah, gonna re-roll that.
Oh, true, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one person on the team has some obscure role, and it just fucks your whole team. It fucks the whole game. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Mm.
Yeah, you're right. So it is good to have. Yeah, that's a good troll character as well. Just because you can't shoot it. You can get right up in people's shit. You can infiltrate and then scout. So that's infiltrate and then a 6-inch move before the game starts, which is pretty hilarious. Seeing as it just can't be like just summarily blown away.
Yeah, you can like stand them in front of other things. You can just have them wandering around on a field, kind of looking at stuff like a sightseer.
Yeah, and the other thing is, and if you do end up shooting for some reason, either as a reaction or whatever, then you still got your, if you do that in the last turn of the game or whatever, you've still got your fucking reaction that you can do to just like get you out of jail. So
Yeah. And awesome for those like special narrative games. Get to the shield generator on the satellite, and the other team can't actually hurt you. What are you going to do? Think of all those crazy narrative games we've played, like that one that you ran with the massive defense satellite. If you had an assassin that couldn't be attacked, that would be a game changer, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that just represents like the other team just thinking that they're like a high marshal or some bullshit, and like, you can't kill that guy.
Yeah.
So I think it's hot. One demand is make the sword hit harder. Just make it at strength, so it's like forced to win. Yeah. So you're at least getting a few extra AP2 wounds in that they do get invulnerable against. It just hits so softly. Okay, next up, Clade Eversar. Same price, 125. Weapon skill 5. 3 wounds instead of 2, and initiative 6. So very, very good.
Only 3 attacks this time.
Going before a Praetor. Yep, only 3 attack. Oh, does a Caldas have 4? Okay, that's weird. Yep. Okay, so less attacks on the Eversar, but there is drugs that will make up for it, so we'll get to that. It has a Neuro Gauntlet, Power Sword, Executioner Pistol, Melter Bombs, Panoply of the Assassin, so the 4 plus Invon. The Melter Bombs is kind of cool. That's a cool addition. Melter Bombs are pretty good. If this guy gets caught by a Dreadnought, at least he can try and Melter Bomb it. If he passes his just a whole shitload of fucking Brutal 3 saves.
Yep.
Dreadnought's probably gonna Dreadnought's gonna fuck any of these guys up. So you need to keep your assassins away from Dreadnoughts.
That'd be handy. That'd be another handy character for narrative games, because you can have, if you've got like locked bulkhead doors down one side of the map, he could kind of sneak off at his own and like melter bomb bulkhead doors and get to the objective.
Yeah, dude. I definitely think that. In Zone Mortalis, maybe a totally different thing. Some of these assassins, like the one we're talking about now, the Eversar, I think the Caldas, I think, would actually be good in Zone Mortalis, because you could scout around and do missions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Poke around, especially if there's a blip. If there's blips in play, it could be a fucking hilarious.
Or special characters that you talk to.
Yeah. And then the Calexis is especially good. Just haunting in the darkness, Fear 2 aura, just sitting on the other side of a wall, just pushing Fear 2 onto people.
Yeah.
Only getting snapshots against him. Yeah. So Zone Mortalis, everyone's waiting for Siege of Cathonia, coming out in May, I believe, which is in a couple of days. I don't know when in May it's coming out. I've heard May. Which has a big like Zone Mortalis portion, so we're all excited. Everyone's excited about that. So yeah, maybe we'll need to like have a rethink about these in the light of Zone Mortalis. Okay, so Eversar. So yeah, Melter Bombs, cool. Power Sword, cool. He's strength 4, so strength 4 power sword. Yep, interesting. The Neuro Gauntlet is a strength as user, so strength 4, AP 3, melee, fleshbane, shred, rending 6+. So it's essentially a power sword that has fleshbane and shred. Fleshbane's always win a 2+, regardless of toughness. So that's kind of cool. Just like stab a whole bunch of attacks into a dreadnought or something and hope to get 6+, but you're not going to fight. You will not survive like a close combat with a dreadnought unless that dreadnought's really fucked. If it's on one wound, maybe you can assassinate that dreadnought with the Neuro Gauntlet. And then his special rules are Infiltrate and Scout, like the rest of them. Counter Attack 1, which is pretty cool. So you charge him, he's got 4 attacks. And then Friends on Rage and Biological Overload. And Biological Overload is basically if you die, everyone within D6, every model, suffers a strength 4 AP3 hit with the Fleshbane special rule. So 2+ to wound, AP3 hit. And they count as a shooting attack with a flame type. So yeah. Fighting against those traitor salamanders, some extra rules may apply. But that's kind of cool. That's actually, as a Eversa aficionado, that's actually the best Biological Overload's ever been. Like, it's always just been like strength 5 AP nothing or some bullshit like that. Strength fucking 4 AP3 but with Fleshbane is super fucking good. This guy could actually just charge into a Space Marine squad and just fucking fight them for a while and then just implode and just or explode and just burn a bunch of them to death as well, which is amazing.
One of those nice big fat 20 man Marine units. And
yeah, you could charge a 20-man Marine unit, kill like 3 of them or 4 of them maybe if you're lucky, and then roll a 6 on the explosion and hit the other fucking 16 with a 2+ or die. Just burn them all to death. That's pretty fucking hilarious.
Yep. As for the friends on rage, you can in assault you can choose to temporarily increase your attack characteristic by the amount in brackets till the end of the turn. And for when you're rolling to hit, each unmodified result of 1, the attacking model suffers a wound unless you can make an armor save. So you kind of sort of gets hot attacking.
Oh yeah, so that French one, it gives you an extra 3 attacks. So you'd be 7 attacks base. If someone charges you, you'd have 8.
Yeah.
If you charged, you'd have 8.
Yeah, you still got because you only got 4+ armor, but you still get a save.
8 attacks. Any ones you roll are a wound. Oh, it's so fucking. But I guess like if you explode, who cares, right? Because you've made it into combat by then. I've got to say, I've run this guy a couple of times and I have had no success. He just gets like shot. He's just been shot. But in Zomatalis, like we were saying, maybe a totally different story. I've got to say, I ran an Eversa in the last edition as well, like in 1.5 Horus Heresy. Just using the 7th ed rules that were compatible, and he basically always got shot off the table by Marines and shit or whatever the fuck anyway. So it's pretty much the same. Gets shot off the table, pretty much the same.
And his shooting weapon is just it's basically just a combi needler. So you've got a bolt pistol and a needle pistol, and the needle pistol does a bit of pinning, but I mean.
It's 2 shots, poison 3+ with pinning, but it doesn't have rending or anything. It's got AP nothing. There's no AP, so it's like pretty crappy. Don't forget you can run and snapshot as well.
Yeah, I guess you'll take out a couple on like I don't know militia or something with it. Militia might like it. Or some like tech thralls or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, against militia maybe. I feel like you should have fear or something, or fear 1. I don't know, but
I don't know.
I've got to say, like, that's the problem. I've got so much. I've got like some games in with this guy, and it's just so disappointing because he's been shot off. But just weight of fire in the new game is so high. Like Iron Warriors with their 3-shot bolters and culverins and stuff around.
Yeah.
People can summon up some fire. You go. I think maybe a tactic that I'll try now is just hiding him on my side of the table and just waiting.
Yeah, as like a kind of like a living landmine, where it's like if you say, deep strike here, or if you like try to get out here, you're gonna have a bad time. I think this guy isn't actually a combat assassin. I think he's actually a sort of he's sort of like a special forces character. So, whether you're in a narrative event or you have him like sneaking around, blowing up, say, artillery and stuff like that, and just being a pain in the butt in the back line is what he's actually for. And if he can get near, say, a heavy weapon squad, he will chop them up and then like blow up or something like that. You're like, he seems like a combat assault guy, but I don't think he is.
Yeah. Like when we read through the rules, like everything's AP3. He's got rending, but everything's AP3. So he's not. He's definitely not. He's not fighting a Praetor. Even though he strikes before a Praetor, you'd have to get really lucky to do wounds to them.
Yeah.
And only being weapon skill 5, like only hitting on 5s, and then you're looking for those 6s for rending. He's more of a just like you gotta. I've sent him forward and risked him too much maybe, and just got fucking blown up. I think maybe like later in the game, I think would be like it is when you want to employ this guy. You've got to be like shrewd. You can't just like send him forward like waste him. Yeah. I just realized, like, we've been reading through all these stat lines, and we read through all the subtypes, and we read through the light type, and we read through the assassin type, and we read through the panoply of the assassin and everything, right? Did you ever remember hearing the word stubborn or fearless or anything? Nope. I didn't. There's no just like.
Does the assassin type give you that?
No, I don't think it does. We just read through it all.
I mean, they do have leadership 10.
And they not feel. And they don't feel. Can an Eversar be broken? I thought they were fearless. Weren't they fearless in last edition? Maybe. I'm sure they were. That's interesting. I wonder if I guess they're just gonna die most of the time. They're. See, that's the problem. If you do try and assassinate a Praetor and you don't kill him, that implies that you haven't done much damage. You're not going to win combat.
Yeah.
He's either going to kill you or do 1 wound to you, and if you lose combat, you could feasibly just run away.
Yeah. Which
fucking sounds crazy, because, like, have you ever thought of that? Has that... They must have been fearless in previous editions. I sound like a total nub now, maybe, like, but I always thought they were fearless and they would just fight to the death.
Yeah.
Sure. Can you imagine an Eversar not fighting to the death? I'm sure they're fearless. Well, I don't know. Weird. Anyway, let's keep moving on.
We're on to Clade.
Oh, wait. What do we think about the Eversar? Are you giving it a hot? Have you got any hot with any demands?
Okay. I think it's hot, but I think some of these assassins should be different slots. So, like, if he was like, say, a troop support, or an elite, or a fast attack, like, I would like assassins to have different slot types, and that would be how you lock them too. So, say if you could have multiple assassins if you wanted to in different slots, or hell, I don't know, make him just one assassin if you really got to. But yeah, I don't think he's a HQ. I think he's more like a fast attacker and elite, or even a troop.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. I think the Calidus, I can imagine as a HQ, makes sense.
Yeah, because they're attacking the HQs.
Maybe right? The Calexis. But the other two, like the Eversar, seems more like Eversar seems more like an elite, or more like an elite, and then the obviously the Vindica is like a heavy, right?
Yeah.
Interesting, because once you start putting them into those slots, then you can then you could have a sub list, and then as soon as you have a sub list, someone will want to play that as a full list, and then next thing you know, someone's got an assassin army on the table.
Yeah, and then you could have like agents, like secret agents who kind of clear the way and get data, and you could have like trainee assassin squads and spy masters and stuff like that, and have like a small elite kind of A-team force that will give each other bonuses to carry out the kill. Sort of like Knights Errant. Knights Errant have got their own special missions, and they're against all odds.
Yeah.
You could do something like that with assassins, where you have this like elite assassin team.
Well, that's the thing. So, thinking in universe, if you're the fucking king of assassins, or whatever, there's 6 competing clades back then. There's no just guy who rules over them all. It seems like in the future, there's just 6 competing clades. You're those clade masters. Surely they come together and they go, "Holy fuck, what are we meant to do? Like, we can't kill praetors and shit. We can't like make attacks on like legionary targets, let alone fucking primarchs. Think about that."
Because we know that they sent like an army of assassins against Horus, right? Well, not an army, but an equivalent of an army. They sent all these like different assassins in a group to try and kill Horus. So.
Yes, there you go. Boom. That's what I'm saying. So the next thing is they figure out they need to work in special sanctioning teams, right? Boom. Bing, bang, boom. Heresy 3rd edition. Assassin Temple list.
Lock it in.
All right. Okay. Let's keep moving along. Eversar, I think, is hot. I don't think I have any demands. I think I just need to maybe play him slightly different. It would be nice. No, I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Okay. So, Clade Adamus. Oh, now this is the one that I played against you in our last game. 125 points. Weapon skill 5. 4. 3 wounds again. Only initiative 5 this time though for the best duelist guy. Only initiative 5, not 6. Interesting. Back up to 4 attacks, mysteriously.
Ooh. Yep.
Well, the Eversar is furious. He's only really furious when you get him on drugs. That gives him an extra 2 attacks over an all assassin. Yeah. Now this guy has a Nemesis blade, a needle spine blaster, which is just don't even bother. Don't worry about that. Just don't worry about it. Panoply of the assassin, so the usual shit. Special rules: Death's Artisan. Ooh, sounds cool. Let's see what that is. Hold on, let me flip over.
As opposed to Death's Finger Painter, or
Death Artisan. So, when engaged in a challenge, a model with this special rule may choose to increase their weapon skill and initiative characteristics. That's right, to match that of their opponent for the duration of the challenge. Additionally, a model with this special rule must always issue a challenge when engaged in a combat with a unit that contains a model with a character subtype. So that was really interesting because this guy, he was weapon skill 5. He was fighting against your Archmagos, who was weapon skill 4. So in the first round, I was hitting you on 3s on this, and then you had the Warlord trait where your weapon skill increases by 1 for every round. So I started hitting you on 3s. Next round, I'm hitting you on 4s. Then next round, it should have gone to me hitting you on 5s, but because I increased my weapon skill to your weapon skill, it just went to 4s. So I'll read out the rest of the rules, and then we'll tell the audience how many turns it took to get a resolution on that close combat. Okay, he also has Decapitation Strike, which is you can make 1 special attack. So this is like some ancient fighting style. So during any fight subphase, the controlling player of a model with a special rule may choose to have the model with this special rule. Why is it written like that? Make a single attack with the profile below instead of attacking normally. While using this option, the model with this special rule may not gain bonus attacks for charging, additional weapons, or from any other special rule. So you get 1 attack at Strength 2, AP 1, Melee, Unwieldy, Fleshbane, Murderous Strike 2+. So you wound in a 2+. That attack is so it's 1 attack. So you're hitting at weapon skill 5. You're not 6 for some reason. So number 1, demand, make it weapon skill 6, make it initiative 6. Make this guy actually fucking scary in combat. This guy could actually threaten a Praetor if he was weapon skill 6, initiative 6. But he just fucking, no. He just does not, because he's only hitting on 5s. Yeah. So you'd be hitting on 5s, 5 attacks on the charge, let's say that you charge for some reason. And you're looking for... Oh, no, sorry, you're only doing 1 attack, because you're going to go for this Murderous Strike. You're only hitting on 5s, but then on a 2+, basically, they have to take an invulnerable save or die.
Which I did.
And it's also unwieldy. So first of all, they're going to tee off on you with their Thunderhammer or whatever. Oh, no, sorry. First of all, they're going to, if they've got a Paragon Blade, they get to just chop at you, which might just fucking kill you. If they've got any other kind of initiative weapon, they'll just fucking chop at you. It would be good if they could just fight them normally, natively with that. Oh, yeah, okay, so, sorry. I'm jumping ahead. We should have talked about the Nemesis Blade and the Needle Spine Blast. And the Nemesis Blade is Strength +1, so Strength 5, AP 3, Melee, Rending 5 Blast. So he does have that. So you could charge in if they are only AP, only 3+ armor save guys, and chop a whole bunch up. But what you really want to be doing is trying to decapitation strike someone with this Murderous Strike 2+, Fleshbane AP 1 attack. Because that's where it's at. It's just it just, yeah. You go the best you can do is you're going simultaneous against someone with a Thunderhammer. So you're gonna die, and then maybe you can fucking get off a Murderous Strike and they fail their invulnerable save.
There's a lot of maybe.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound bad on paper, but okay. So we played. I charged your Archmagus. I hid my guy behind a fucking sewer grate or sewer hole or whatever, and then your Archmagus came along with some Myrmidons. I ran my guy out. Fucking used another one of my units to just shoot all his Secutor bodyguard away. So it was just your Archmagus. And then I was like, time to suffer the wrath of the Clade Adamus Assassin. So I fired off the Needle Spine Blaster, which was 1 Strength 2, Poison 2, AP nothing shot. So I think I wounded and you got 2+ against that, so it didn't do anything. And then you fired the Bolt Blaster, which was 3 Strength 4, AP 5 shots, Pistol 3. And so, boom, fired them off of you. I think I wounded once, and then you 2+'d it, obviously, because you're an Archmagus. Yeah. And then I charged in. I charged a different unit first to soak up your reaction or whatever. And then I charged in, because that would have been fucking dicey, because your Archmagus had 3 melter guns, so you probably would have just fucking executed him. Just punched fucking holes through him with melter. And then I was like, okay, cool, let's fight close combat. And then what did you had? You had 2 chain fists or 2 power fists or something. What is it? 2 power fists?
Yeah, 2 power fists.
So you had 2 power fists. So we're both going last. Eye strike. Boom. I think I got the Murderous Strike off, and then you 3+'d it, and then you struck, and then I saved, and then went back and forth for 3 rounds, and neither of us had died. And then I think the game ended because it was we charged in and we were like, let's just play it out and see how long.
How long can this go on? Ever increasing speeds and ever increasing level.
Ever increasing weapon skill that just went up, but was also counted by my ever increasing weapon skill. So, does it say to a maximum? Does it say a maximum?
I don't think they envisaged it hitting a maximum.
Well, the Mechanicum one might have a maximum. Maybe it maxes out at 10 or something. But so we played 3 turns, so that's like 6 rounds of close combat, and neither of us had died, and we were like, what the fuck? Let's see how many more rounds of close combat can go on. And I think it was another like 4 turns. It was like 8 rounds of combat basically. On the 8th round, you finally just like, I failed an invulnerable save. You managed to hit me and just punch the shit through me, and I failed a save and died. But yeah, I just couldn't get that blade off. And then because we were just so shocked by how it just didn't happen, I was like, oh, let's see how many turns it would take for 3 clade Adamus assassins all working together, fighting you all at once to kill you. And it was like, it took like 4 turns before you finally failed a save and just and died. So I don't know.
I didn't feel like I actually killed him. I probably just left and then ran simulations. And then when the simulation came back with me beating you, I went, see, I would have won eventually. Yeah. So more of a synthetic victory.
Yeah. So, yeah, only being weapon skill 5, but remember you can jump up. You jump up to a Praetor, so you're hitting on 4s. You're going to be hitting on 4s most of the time. You only get that 1 attack. You're only hitting last. There's just so much that can go wrong. It is a 2+ is Murderous Strike. It is a 2+ instant death at AP1. But there's so much that can go wrong, and I don't know.
Yeah, it was very.
Maybe I sound insane. I need to run it again. Maybe it was a fluke. Maybe it was a crazy fucking game. Maybe you had haunted dice or something, or maybe I had haunted dice. No, I think you must have had haunted dice because you weren't able to just kill me with like power fists. I guess an Archmagus, you've only got 2. You got 3 attacks with the fists, and then the 2 grabby claws.
Yeah, that's right. It's fist and dancers to tech mage. Yeah, the double fist.
Yeah. So yeah, seems really good on paper. In the one game that we played, it fucking didn't work. But this guy might be the guy that can actually kill a Praetor.
Definitely mess with them all. It's kind of funny though, because with a lot of like when you look at the special magics weapons that say legions get, where they've got like burning brutal swords and thunder hammers and stuff like that, there's way more like available. The stuff that's available to legions in mass numbers are way better or comparable to these weapons, which are supposed to be the finest that Earth can provide.
Yeah, you're right. Like, why the fuck would you ever take any of their stupid any of those stupid bolt pistol, needle pistol thing, like what the Everstar has?
Combi needler.
Why would you take that when you could take an Inferno pistol or even a plasma pistol?
Yeah, or just like if an you just had a generic list of items that assassins could choose. Like you said, you can have a Paragon blade or
a Paragon blade. Imagine a Paragon blade. Give an Everstar. Is an Everstar like lowest? Like, why wouldn't Everstar have like a Paragon blade? That would be fucking sick. Be
think about what charnable weapons are for. So they're supposed to be these ancient Earth weapons on Terra that were used for dueling in like the tech courts on Earth. Before the Emperor as the Emperor would go around to these different empires, they would have these special duelists and nobles and stuff that have these specialized dueling weapons. But these guys don't have any dueling weapons at all, even though this is sort of what they're supposed to do. They don't have like the really good charnable weapons. They've got stuff that's
the Everstar just has a power sword. It's not even a mastercrafted power sword. It's just like
you should have a list. Like, imagine how much better these guys would be if you said, "Oh, well, an assassin can choose to take an Archaeotech pistol."
Hey, you know what? Hey, we're thinking small time. Like these guys are in the Imperial household. Why can they not think about the custo level weapons?
Yeah.
Imagine an assassin with Meridian blades.
Yeah, and a disintegrator pistol.
Or disintegrator pistol. A Drathic.
How about all those weapons that the
destruct
Emperor like
pistols
took off everyone, like
a Drathics,
Adrathics and stuff like that. You know, imagine like all of those Jakero digital digi weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah, these guys. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this. Because remember we've been talking about like the fucking late heresy, early heresy. This is the Crusade era. Like we always say, the Crusade era. Maybe that's what assassins were doing in the Crusade era. Maybe in a late war, solar war campaign, a solar war era, when they get to when we get to later in the timeline and they do the next list. It'd be cool to have early and late lists.
Yeah.
In a late list, people like surely the custodes would go, no, you're not taking needle pistol, bolt pistol, piece of shit into combat, fuckhead. Take an inferno pistol. Oh yeah, and your power sword here. Take a blah 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 sword, and then Clade Adamus. Well, Meridian blades for you boys, or whatever. You know, like it's give them fucking some crazy shit.
The really,
or just tone down Meridian blades, like half Meridian blades.
Yeah. Like think of
2/3 Meridian blades. There you go. Whatever the fancy
admirals.
word for 2/3 is, that Meridian blade.
Yeah.
And then you can have like special, like actual fucking sick weapons on like the Vindicate, right? Like just like a Drathic round. Just fires a miniaturized Drathic imploder or whatever. Like fuck yeah, dude. All right, okay.
Or like void grenade. Like where are the void grenades? Where are the like the stasis grenades?
Yeah. Vortex grenade. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Wouldn't you give like that kind of shit? Why? Yeah, exactly. Okay.
That's what these are for.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. So, we've done the Artemis. That's one of the new ones. The Venenum.
Oh, wait. Hot
Venenum.
or not?
Yeah.
Is it hot? Do you like it, Artemis?
No. I think it's not. The Neilspine Blaster is crap. The Nemesis Blade. If you, I think he may be the only. It's a sick model, and I've got like the new model's awesome, and the new model's based off the old like 1980s one. And I've got one of those that I got Michael to paint up. And so I used to, because we used to have lots of assassin shit in our campaign, and I used to use him as the assassin temple master guy, and I'd made up just like slightly better rules for him. Like he had like a power fist basically, and could just punch the shit out of people. Because you need, during campaign, like people like Dean Morris or whatever, you got all these fucking people with like their psycho praetors. You need an assassin that could actually kill a praetor. So that's what I made this guy that was like, he could just throw initiative 5 fucking strength 8 AP2 fucking punches into people. And then just fucking send them after him, you know, just actually make them fucking sweat. But yeah, this dude is not it. If you get him into combat and you challenge their fucking praetor, and they are also striking last, so you're getting you're actually getting to attack, and you get your 1 attack, and you hit on a 4+, and you wound on a 2+, and then they fail their invulnerable save.
Yeah.
Then you can kill the praetor.
So many ifs.
You need to get them there as well. That's the other thing. It's like even with infiltrate, and that can be a trap. The infiltrate and scout, that can be a trap. Trying to infiltrate too close as well, I feel like as well. There's maybe other ways. Like I was saying about the Eversar hanging back and waiting for people to come into your space and then counter ambushing them. Maybe that's how you use the Adamus. I think he's the only one out of all of these that can kill a praetor under the right conditions.
Yeah.
Other than that, no demands really.
Yeah, the gear lets him down, I think.
I don't even know what it is. Is it the gear?
Because I like his mirroring the skill of the opponent. It's cool.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna put a provisional not on him just because he's failed me. Maybe I'm just like too biased.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the Venenum. So this guy's weapon skill 5, back up to initiative 6 on this guy, and the full 4 attacks. He's got a thing called Hook Fang, which is a poison 3+, rending 6+ weapon, which is a template. Strength 5, AP 4, assault 1, poison 3+, rending 6+. So once again, not that great. Like, none of these things have like precision strikes or precision attacks.
Yeah.
Or precision shot or anything like that. Like, what are they fucking assassin? Are they just missing like a page where it says that they get fearless, precision shot?
They don't even have night vision.
Preferred enemy character or hatred character.
Yeah.
Preferred enemy character. Surely they should have that.
Look at all the stuff that custodes get to just mess with actors, and these guys don't.
Yeah. Precision shot, surely. Precision shot, at least on the Vindicator. Oh, the Vindicator's got sniper. But even like any of them that have weapon shooting should have precision shot, right? Surely they're trying to fucking assassinate the leaders.
That's the point. They get in on your bodyguard, and your bodyguard can't stop you from hitting the boss.
Preferred enemy warlord. Surely they should have preferred enemy warlord, right? Surely.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Do you think if they did have that, are they worth more points?
I'd pay it.
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Or have at least have options. Say, if you want to give him, preferred strikes, it's 5 points or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Do you want to make him a better assassin? Yeah.
Yeah. Make your own assassin.
Yeah, tiers of assassin would be cool. So you can take a level 3. So you can be like, I took a level 3 Eversaw, and then the guy's like, oh shit, did you win? And they're like, no, because he had a level 5 Calidus.
Yeah.
That he countered me with. Yeah. Okay, so Clade Venom. So the Hook Fang is essentially a rending 6+ flamer template thing that does like AP 3+, whatever. Toxin ejector. Oh, sorry, wait, that's the toxin ejector. The Hook Fang is a close combo weapon. Sorry, totally got carried away with the story and everything. So Hook Fang, is a dagger styled after the razor fang of a now extinct apex predator of Old Night. The Hook Fang contains a neural degenerative toxin engineered by the Grandmaster of the Clade, which is able to be transmitted through the smallest of nicks. Grandmaster of the Clade Venenum keeps records in her private archive of all those who have managed to shrug off the toxin during her reign. A list with only 3 names upon it, one of them her own. Ooh, who else do you think's on the list? The Emperor? Oh no, she wouldn't have tried it on him, right?
Maybe.
All who have managed to shrug off the toxin during her reign.
Mortarion?
Well, you'd have to assume that she's actually like.
She'd have to ask them.
It's being used. Well, yeah, it's being used against people. So maybe like, maybe she shot a few Catan, and they're like, eh. Okay, so strength as user, AP 3, melee, poison 3+, the venom, and the venom is if a model suffers one or more unsaved wounds from this weapon, controlling player must roll a d6 at the beginning of every battle turn for the remainder of the battle. On a 5+, the model suffers a wound against which no saves of any kind can be taken. Furthermore, any model which suffers one or more unsaved wounds from a weapon with the venom special rule is considered to be destroyed for the purposes of missions which award victory points for killing models, regardless of whether they have been removed from play as a casualty, unless they possess the Eternal Warrior special rule. Oh shit. So you just fucking basically just die eventually.
So this is the actual...
It's only AP3 though. It's just so like... How are you gonna...
No rend or anything.
No, not even a rend.
Yeah.
It's at initiative 6 though, but yeah, you just like literally the slightest nick is all you're ever gonna get, which is you're hitting on a 5+. Wait, hold on, let's see. They don't have any other special rules. Their weapon skill doesn't increase. So yeah, you're hitting on a 5+ against Praetor.
Even a sergeant or an apothecary with artificer armor is going to get a 2+ save on this thing.
Yeah, your Archmagos gets 2+. So you're definitely not killing them. But yeah, for maybe like B tier characters, I mean, think about all the even all of the what are they fucking called? Centurion level characters. Or captain level characters, whatever.
Yeah.
They all come with Artificer now.
Yeah. As
So
standard.
they're getting a 2+ against this.
Sucks to be you. How are you getting all these
you got
victory points for
a
nicking
remote
models?
chance, of just like stabbing a poison wound into like a. The fact that they just work alone as well. Oh god,
It's so frustrating.
Well, so to assassinate, the other thing about assassinating a Praetor, you can't assassinate them out of a unit. It's just impossible because they can just deny the challenge. They have no special rule where they get to like always.
They should be able to
challenge
nest in any unit in your army. Like,
just
so
jump out.
You can get like a 20-man despoil squad, and then you hide an assassin in it. And then when you get in combat, the assassin like pops out and goes, I'm going to head for the enemy leader and try to kill him while everyone's fighting. That's got to be like 99 out of 100 battles.
I was wearing a falsehood. Yeah, I was wearing a falsehood.
Yeah.
So I could get close to you as a different Marine, but I'm actually Cleat Officer Assassin. You could say that that's meant to be represented by the infiltrate and scout, but it's just not. Like infiltrate and scout is just not like it's not enough of a surprise because they just they just shoot the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
You're right. They always have worked alone. Like I think the fact that they've always worked alone, they've always been like a lone thing, just kind of like just me. I don't know. It's just kind of like a tradition, if you know what I mean. Like they always just sort of work alone. Like
but not in the books. They're not. They're in teams, or they're like, they sneak into an enemy squad and like get to the. I don't know. It just doesn't.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So the unnatural conditioning. Okay. So here's the rules. Sorry. There's also poison globes. Don't forget the poison globes.
Oh yeah.
So any unit attempting to make a charge against a unit with one or more models that has poison globes must reroll the first successful roll when determining charge distance. Ooh, so slightly summon down, whatever. And then the special rules: infiltrate, scout, unnatural conditioning, and unnatural conditioning is models with this special rule are immune to the effects of radphage and any other rules that negatively affect the toughness characteristics such as rad grenades. Additionally, weapons with with the poison X special rule and or flashbane may never wound a model with unnatural conditioning on a roll of better than 5+. So yeah, like there you go. Just like radphage. When the fuck does I've used rad weapons like hundreds of games. Oh, not hundreds, but like probably like more than 100 games. Surely have the first edition and stuff. And like radphage just it is a nothing rule, man. Like it's just so fucking rare.
How many times is your assassin going to be running across the field and you're going to go, phew, glad I've got that immunity to radphage. That really pulled my ass out of the fire.
Well, yeah, if you're firing like a destroyer squad that has a rad missile launcher and some bolt pistols, and they knock a wound off you with radphage, and then they're still the pistols that they're shooting with, they're simultaneous, so the pistols are just going to kill you, and then the radphage just never happens. Like, it just never seems to ever come up. Like, and I'm not saying it never comes up, and there's probably people at home going, oh, radphage is actually something that happens all the time. But I'm telling you, I have played Mechanicum basically solely for the first edition, and it just never comes up.
Yeah. And you've been a purveyor of rad.
True, I have been
in your long career.
Purveyor of rad. I've dealt quite the amount of rad. Just never happens. Okay, so this one I just say not. I just don't think very good. The toxin ejector thing. It's just a template branding 6+. The venom. I mean, if you can get a wound off, then maybe, but and then it slowly they kill themselves by rolling on a 5+ with no saves. But it's a really like slow, really low chance.
Yeah.
I don't know what this like. What?
I don't know who this is for, because
Do you go after a dreadnought with it or something?
Normal people, but you can't fight a squad with this.
Maybe you just suicide it into a dreadnought. You're hitting on 4s. You're going before it. You're hitting on 4s. Wounding on 2s. You might get lucky with some Rens. No, sorry, no, it doesn't have Ren. That's right. No, the hook thing doesn't have Ren. Fuck.
Yeah.
So you're going before it. You're hitting on 4s. You're wounding on 3s. And then they're getting a 2+ save. They might fail one of those, and if they do, boom, they take a wound. Then they take the venom. And then they need to roll 6 turns worth of 5+ on every turn to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
If the venom was a rule that they had on anything they did, that would be cool. So, say if they had different weapons, say if you give them, I don't know, even a power sword or, I don't know, lightning claws or something, and you go, whatever weapons you give them in close combat, they always have the venom rule as well, which is, if you do one or more unsaved wounds in close combat, then you do the D6.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a fucking toxin. Why is it only deliverable via this stupid fucking?
Because you read them and they're all like, oh, this assassin has a specialized gun that also has poison, and a specialized weapon that drips poison. It's not like poison seems to be very hard to get. They're all got it, and it's not like you could do some really scary poison stuff in this, like mess with leadership scores. Have imagine if this guy was like the Scarecrow, and he had like fear, like fear gases, hallucinogens, and or he could hit people and then make them attack their buddies, and or reverse their stats, do all sorts of crazy stuff. That'd be really cool. Melt their toughness, make them slower with initiative. That'd be really fun.
Blast a hallucinogen cloud into the unit that you're targeting, and then they all start fighting each other, and then you just seek out their leader and fucking inject him with your dagger thing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Anyway, I say not. Not, and the demands would be, I don't know, give it a way of getting AP2 on Hookfang maybe, and then it'd be cool. But it's just a suicide. It's a total suicide thing. Otherwise,
yeah.
And it's not even a shelf. It's not even like a 50-50 chance too. It's like super fucking there's the 1 in 6 just from their armor save, right? So so 2 plus this.
That's so harsh.
Yeah,
like
you
everyone's
need a way of punching that 2 plus.
Fighter armor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you said, just allow them to have any kind of weapon. But I mean, okay, you got to think about it like this. So Games Workshop wants to sell these bespoke models that they've made for each of the temples.
Sure.
So you got to understand that. But then, I mean, like once they've sold them, maybe in the later,
the model's got to be.
Edition.
People have got to want to use the model though. It doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. But it's hard to it's hard to sell. Like they can't sell like a. Like pick and choose.
They don't have to be like I can appreciate them being for killing humans and not being like at the height. They're not like uber custodes or something. I get that, but it's just their gear holds them back from actually doing what it is that they say they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, they should at least have a chance. Like give them that fucking all those rules we just talked about, fearless, etc.
Yep.
Preferred enemy. Warlord.
Yep.
Okay. So now the next one's, and then the last one is next and last is the infant. What the fuck? the Clade Vanis Infosight Assassin. So also 125, so they're all 125 points. This one is puny in close combat, weapon skill 4, BS 4, blah blah blah. Only initiative 5, 3 attacks, so terrible in close combat. Oz Spectre, 2 las pistols, 2 sympathetic data spikes, Vox disruptor array, atomic servo limbs. 2 las pistols sounds promising. Noospheric interloper, infiltrate scout, support squad, the blah blah blah, loyalist, etc. Now it's got some interesting things. Now the sympathetic data spikes has 2 of them. They're a strength +2 AP3 melee rending 4+, haywire specialist weapon, but remember, only initiative 5, only weapon skill 4. So the one good fucking just like insane weapon that these guys get with the rending 4+ haywire specialist weapon fucking thing, it's only weapon skill 4. So it's hitting dreads on 5s. It's just not able to, like, this would be really good because a haywire against dreadnoughts, fucking amazing, right? Just that, but you're only hitting on 5s. You are going before it. You can finish off a dread, sure, if a dread's on 2 wounds, maybe. Got a good chance of like running in. What do you got? Like 4 attacks, 5 attacks from the 2 swords, hitting on 5s, and then 2+. You could take it out. So yeah, that's kind of cool. The Noospheric Interloper. So instead of making a shooting attack, you can basically nominate a single model within 12 inches that has an automata type. That model then suffers D3 wounds with no armor saves or damage mitigations. You'll still get their 5+ invuln. If that reduces it to 0 and it's removed as a casualty, it explodes obviously, and then the controlling player can then nominate another model with automata unit within 18, and this also suffers D3 with no armor saves, blah blah blah. No further wounds can then be allocated, but yeah, so you basically just like pick on wounded automata, blow its last wound off, boom, and then just choose another model and then do it again.
Yeah.
Just auto suffering D3 wounds, like you don't. Yeah, so this one, like, I think this one definitely has promise. It's funny that it has 2 las pistols as well. Maybe you can like shoot some fucking wounds off something with a reaction or something, maybe. And then the last thing is it has a thing called Oz Spectre. So enemy models cannot be deployed with using infiltrate within 18 inches. And when an enemy unit is deployed to the battlefield from reserves, a model with an Oz Spectre may make an interceptor advanced reaction without expending a point from the reactive player's reaction allotment. This does not allow the unit to make more than 1 reaction per phase, but does allow the controlling player to exceed the normal 3 reaction limit in a given phase. Instead of using the profile of a weapon the model has, i.e. its las pistols, a model with an Oz Spectre may instead make a leadership test. If the leadership test is passed, the controlling player may instead make a shooting attack with any defensive weapon available to any model with the vehicle type, both friendly or enemy, within 12 inches that is in range and line of sight of the targeted model. If the leadership test is failed, the model may not make an interceptor advance reaction. So,
dude, what a fucking... So, stay within 12 inches of friendly vehicle, I guess, with defensive guns on it.
Yeah. So you need to... Yeah, so they teleport down or whatever, deep strike down, and then you can be like, I am going to overwatch you with that Volkite Culverin off that sponson of a nearby Kratos.
For free.
Wow, 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 wow. 5 shots. Yeah. Using who's ballistic skill?
Good times.
Controlling man. In range. It just says they do. Wait, does it say whether it uses their ballistic skill or the tank's ballistic skill?
The control
available to any model.
Make a shoot with any
Yeah, I guess you use his BS. Well, it's only 4 anyway. Who gives a shit, right? Like, it's a militia, then you can scissor paper rocket or something. Decide who's right. Now they do have the Vox Disruptor Array, which is kind of cool and can be useful against somebody who's doing a big teleport assault. If they've only got one unit coming in via deep strike, then it's of no use at all. Okay. It's got one extra piece of war gear: the autotomic servo limbs. Wow! So these are mechadendrite-like appendages and captive servo skulls incorporated into the harness of the Clade Vanus Infocyte, and they're used in data harvesting and infiltration. But under combat conditions, the appendages can be shed at will, and can be remotely operated for a short time, distracting the assassin's assailants and allowing them to slip away. Whoa. So once per battle, at the start of any turn, the controlling player with the model blah, 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 can choose to grant that model the hit and run special roll. So you can hit and run. So yeah, initiative 5 there. I think they're hot. And I did this one. I want to try. I need to go and fucking buy one from somewhere. Hopefully,
I tried them. I used one against you last edition.
Oh, using the Mournival rails?
Yeah, and that was fun. I think the idea is pretty cool. But 2 las pistols that aren't even mastercrafted.
Yeah, you're not shooting with them. You're just gonna want to get into close combat. Use that 4+ rending. Well, and then also just using that thing that can fuck up crippled automata, right?
Yeah. I wish it was a little broader than just automata. Like have it affect dreads and dreads and vehicles and stuff. Like be a little more generous with it.
Yeah. What do they call Clade of Vanus? Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Or maybe have some other fun rules, like being able to, say, move enemy units. Like when you look at the Mechanicus rules for like buffing forces and stuff, they could have done something fun like that, where it's like imagine if someone's rolling a Spartan towards your line, and you can kind of go, it's going to move over here instead of where you wanted it. Like if it's crossing a bridge, you kind of get it to drive off the bridge instead, or into difficult terrain, or make it do a U-turn in the wrong spot or something like. Just like general trickery of vehicles, and because the whole idea of this Vanus Infocyte assassin is that they're a sort of a hacker, data manipulator. They look at. And then they kind of hack your equipment, and the idea is that you have an accident based on their complete knowledge of everything that you're doing. Your timetables, your movements, and all the rest of it.
You go to take a shit, and like the water like sucks out really hard, and like pulls you inside out, or you like walk, or you like lean on a railing, and you like fall down like 100 meters or something. Yeah, like real kind of like, you had an accident, or was it? Oh yeah, more like like electro bullshit, right? Yeah, like a lift just fucking falls or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, just trickery, some bullshit trickery. Yeah, I like them. I think their rules are interesting. The being able to just like fucking being able to just like cripple that automata. It's just their weapon skills only 4 again. Yeah. Once again. Yeah. So,
Yeah, because they kind of stack them heavy on close combat instead of like accident magic. Because there is stuff that the mechanics got that's kind of like accident magic. Like there's one thing they can do where like passengers in say a vehicle can just like fall out of it. And just like little tricky stuff like that, like sort of have it as like a, sort of like your command vehicle, but instead of it being stuff like, reserve rolls and difficult terrain rolls. Anything where it's like you don't want to have an unlucky roll, you know.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. So
that could be fun.
Yeah, this one I'd give it a heart. I think only one's been a not, at least for me, which is the Venenium.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the Artemis as well. Yeah, no, I give the Artemis like a boo, but that's a provisional boo. I think we need to run some more. What I also want to do is run some Assassins v Assassins. I want to see. Although I don't think we've been too negative. I think some of this stuff's just like, what the fuck. And some of this, based on just our knowledge of the game and just thinking about the close combats that I send my fucking Terminator Praetor into, like one of these fucking dudes is just getting like picked up, folded in half, and thrown out a window. Like they're just not gonna fucking do shit. They're just gonna get fucking destroyed. Imagine like just sending your Everthrow Assassin up against a fucking Emperor's Children Praetor. Just like goodbye, fuckhead. Just like none of them are surviving against like a world eater's fucking Praetor maniac with a whole bunch of Ravagers or something. Like, what the fuck are you doing to them? You can't do anything to them. So not So we've tried not to be too negative, I think. But what we're looking forward to is Assassins in Zone Mortalis.
Yep.
And also, like, I'd like to see Assassins. I want to play some, like, some games where we just set up a ZM and, like a Necromunda night or something, and just everyone has one of the 7 assassins, and then we all fight each other in the corridors. I think that would be fun, because I think some of these weapons would be actually really crazy against other assassins.
What's also interesting too about this edition is that there are more sort of assassins around. There's more like duelists, and so for example, the Mechanicum have got their own version of an assassin for loyalists. And that I think that's really cool. But the thing is, the Mechanicus assassin can get a Paragon Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, do you not like a
I think they're only Initiative 4 though, right? So almost all the Imperial assassins will just chop their Kyoto in half.
Well, they're good in different. They're good in a different way. They've got a different kind of balance. And I really dig that. So
Akira also has like an entourage, which just makes it so good. Yeah. Like, and like no assassin is gonna get near an Akira when they have like 6-4X with them or something, for example.
Like if I like what I was thinking of for your like War of Assassins is I would actually like to have a militia duelist, which is just like some kind of dude with a channable rapier.
No, you want to make it like Assassins and Other Deadly Men.
Well, just like a kind of a Gurding Halleck kind of dude instead.
What about like a Sister of Silence, like one of their like psycho knights. What are they called? Yeah. Fuck, we've got to do a Sisters of Silence Warmonger, actually. Holy shit. I'm gonna
those like neuro lashes and stuff, man. That'd be a cool assassin. Like,
I'm gonna have like 5 coffees before that one. Let's have a look at the sisters quickly.
No man-child has ever endured such pain.
The Silent Judge or the Night Abyssal? Maybe Silent Judge.
Oh yeah, because one of them is like a
Night Abyssal. Dude, a Night Abyssal would just take a fucking assassin to school, wouldn't they? Initiative 5, weapon skill 6. Fucking Paragon Blade.
What page is that?
44 of the same book. And they're only 85 base. Paragon Blade, how much is that? 10. So 95 base. You're still like 30 points cheaper. And they've got precision strikes, precision shots, 5+, fearless, fleet 1. All shit that I think assassins should have. But they've also got all this like ex Oblivio shit and all that sort of stuff. And hatred, psychers, demons, and corrupted. So assassins should have fleet 1, fearless, hatred, warlord, precision strike 5+, precision shot 5+. Right? Sure.
Yeah. Like an assassin.
Yeah, and Knight Abyssal has all that shit for fucking 85.
Well, look at the Silent Charge would be a cool assassin. You know? And they've got like good stuff. Hatred, Psychers, Demons, Corrupted. Precision strikes, precision shots. Fleet, stubborn. Weapon skill and ballistic skill 5. How come these guys haven't gone to assassin school for the whole, like, since they were, you know, gestated in the gene?
Well, on top of that, they're also a null. So, like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, let's compare this to a Calexis.
Yeah.
A Calexis is weapon skill 4. A fucking Knight Abyssal is weapon skill 6. So how come this, like, what, like, because you can't even make the argument that they have to spend all their time doing, like, psychic null shit, right?
Yeah.
Because they're only weapon skill 4. Knight Abyssal 6. That's 2 whole points above it. It's fucking insanity. Insane, I say. And 80 and 15, like, what is it? 30 points cheaper.
Yeah. Well, look at how crazy the Silent Judge is. And the Silent Judge is, you know, they hunt, they're sort of like an assassin. And they can take Archaeotech pistols, Adrathic Destructors, they can mastercraft stuff. They can take Power Fists, Neurolashes, Charnable Weapons, Power
Weapons. They can
Weapons.
take an Adrathic Destructor. What the fuck?
Yeah. This is it's just a much better assassin than that. Tricky.
Yeah. Silent Judge. What's this other one? Silent Fury. Oh, it's a chicken. Oh, it's a jet bike. Centura. That's sick. Yeah, I don't know. The Knight Abyssal, yeah, or that Silent Charge, yeah. Well, if you want to turn it into assassins and other brave men, then I guess. But yeah, that's what I'd like to do. Play some assassin games in a Zone Mortalis, just running around like the hamster mill, just like chopping each other up. Because we did that once down in one of the Acts of Heresy. If you can imagine such a thing, Cat won it with some kind of psycho assassin. I can't remember which one. I think he might have had an Eversar. So that was a really fun game. Just everyone, we were like in a bar, in like a booth at a bar, basically, with like a Zone Mortalis on the table, and then just like everyone had to hunt each other through the corridors and also kill this giant like fucking reptiled.
Reptoid.
Reptilid. Yeah. Okay. Well, boom. That's the assassins. I think we've made ourselves clear, and then we've talked around in circles a bunch of times, and we've talked a lot about each of the assassins. Take it or leave it, I guess, right? Like, I'm gonna continue to try and run more assassins. I'm gonna try and collect more assassins as well.
Yep.
Because I do want to give them all a go. It's just lucky I had that model, which is basically that the new Adamus is based off, and fits perfectly. So I was able to run that Adamus. I'll run him a few more times. Like there's got to be something. Like maybe it was just some insane luck when he played against you, but I'm just so off him.
Well,
I just don't want to look
I think
at him.
it's just that I accidentally took the Warlord trait that would sort of go against your one. You know, was it the Science of Slaughter or the
exactly
the Calculus of Chopping or the
Calculus of Chopping?
Yeah, the Prophecy of Punching.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and then and the Eversar, I'll always run the Eversar no matter what the edition. I'll manage to find a way to run it. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, they are one of the good points about them being a bit more light touch and not being like an insane combat monster is that they become like a really good DM tool. Because when you want to like have something that if you want to send assassins after people in a campaign, you don't want something that's just gonna 100% fucking kill them.
Yeah.
Because like that's just bad DMing. You don't want to just kill someone's fucking shit outright. That's
not fun.
Yeah, that's not fun. Who's having fun there? You are, but like whatever. That's, you know, you're trying to as a DM, you're trying to entertain people. It's all about the entertainment factor, and also, just fucking with them. Just the fact that you say that you're sending assassins after them is like fucking cool, and then putting 1 or 2 assassins down on the table, or an increasing number of assassins, send them after key people. Maybe what you could do is have some sort of like special condition, like if the loyalists gather together like 4 tokens, then they can unlock a assassin attack on the top 5 trader generals, and then they just like each person they play against just gets in a free assassin that round.
Yeah.
I mean, they're single models. It's not hard to paint up assassins too. I've got a whole bunch just for DMing, just for game mastering purposes.
Yeah. Or there's like on points of interest, you could just have points of interest that are like, you find a landed pod with an assassin that hasn't had its target programmed yet.
Yeah.
So you can just kind of like decant them and kind of go, and they're like, who's my target? And you just go,
that's true.
That guy over there.
Yeah. Yeah, seeing as I don't have the fearless rule, man, like there's no reason why a far-flung small assassin outpost where the assassins are go and do training. That it can't all just train on Earth, right? Or Terra. They must be all over the place. They would have like small outposts and shit where they have assassins, like especially seeing as Everses are essentially just like a bioweapon that you just unfreeze and send to kill shit. You'll probably have them like stored in far-flung locations just so you can deploy them in that area rather than having to send them all the way from Terra. That's insane. So if that's the case, then there's those small fucking enclaves of assassins could become corrupted for one side or the other, or even have some kind of like fucking assassin civil war, like where one side goes for Horus and one side goes for for the Emperor. And then that could spill over into, the warfare that's going on in the Sab sector that they're in as well. So, there's tons of fucking...
Mega fun too to, like, make your own custom assassin, like come up with your own clade type that might be like, these guys only use, tiger claws, or they have jetpacks, or, like do something, just make some kind of crazy model, or maybe you got some of those old Spyro models and have like
my temple only uses Inferno Pistol in one hand and the World Eater's Phalanx Blade in the other.
Deadly.
That's my temple. And they have a 3, and they've got a Cyber Familiar, so they have a 3+ invuln. Alright, okay, fuck. That's it. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back with more content. It's been a little bit slow just lately on all of the podcasting. Michael and I have both been busy with various things, but we will be back soon and just like smashing out a regular content. Like I think like Warmonger, I managed to get almost every single episode out in week after week. Which is pretty good, like 18 episodes. I think I might have slipped maybe 1 week or something like that. But so it is possible. It's just a lot of work, like fucking lining people up and doing all that sort of thing. It's a lot easier when Michael's actually in the same town to organize. But because we like to be together when we're talking and shit, like it's just a better thing, a better experience, I guess. But whatever. But I've got some other ideas for shows as well. got like thinking maybe a show going through the black books and stuff like that, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But there'll be more updates soon. All right, cool. Thanks everyone. Fully Painted is for closes. And thanks Liam for coming on. And
thank you.
And we do have Necromunda stuff in the pipeline as well. So,
we've got a bunch of stuff coming.
Yeah, Yumi and Sean, we're gonna do some. We've got more like mystery shopping to do, which is really entertaining. We're behind on Necromunda just because we haven't really been playing that much. And like when the more you play Necromunda, the more you want to podcast about it, as people say, as they say. But we'll be getting back into that. And then there's all these games coming up as well. That's the other thing is like on the horizon. I mean, it's almost. We're only like 2 or 3 days away from the Open Day, and who knows what's coming up, right? Like Epic, they keep talking about Epic. The Old World, they keep talking about the Old World. Ooh, super distracting. How are we going to play fucking 30k and the Old World? That's insane. Is it possible? Epic, like, everyone's talking about Epic as well. So, I mean, it's just so much stuff. So, yeah.
It really has been a great time. Because even when stuff's been a little wobbly, there's still been good, you know.
It's
been really exciting. There's more stuff. Well, like there's so much stuff that's come out that we haven't even had a go at. Like I'm just putting together some Lunar Wolves at the moment, and I can't wait to try them out, and they're going to be fun. You know, we've all got like new rules and stuff to test out, and you know, there's stuff coming down the pipeline. It's really fun.
Yeah. I've got I'm just doing up some Morlocks and my Dread King, and then I'll be able to run like the Foda list, like a light Foda, and that's like got me super crunk. And then I've also been. Yeah, no, I won't. Oh, and yeah, I know. And then I've also got this like big like tank force as well that I've been slowly amassing all the
actually, you know, if you guys are doing your assassins, can like link them to either Eye of Horus on Instagram, especially if you want to come up with some new concepts for assassins. You know, get out your like bits box and some other stuff, and like see if you can come up with some cool things. For example, those Vans, like there's lots of Necromunda models that are really good bases for assassins. For example, the Van Sub bodies are really good because they've got that slick kind of techno armor, and you know, you can just put a skull on them and some, you know, braids and all sorts of crazy stuff, and make a cool new assassin. So like get those assassins coming just as a fun little weekend project. And then link them up on the Eye of Horus Instagram so we can like oogle them. I'd love to see some cool ideas. Maybe like pet assassins that have like pets. Maybe we can see some assassin caiman. Assassin raptors. You know.
The other thing is as well, some of these models, like especially if you're doing like custom models, you can also like if you're a Necromunda player, use them in Necromunda as well. You know, just like as long as you get your basing scheme right and everything like that. But some of these models, you can get like the models are not cheap, so you want to get max use out of them.
Yep,
is what I'm trying to say. Because I was just on the Fortrot site before looking at the assassins, like $63 each for these guys. So you definitely want to like get your money's worth. Put together something that's cross system. It's really good.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Fully painted is for closers.